Evening, everybody. I hope all is well on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday, y'all. Just decided to go live and see what was going on in the YouTube world. I hope all is well. A little bit nicer weather here today on Georgia. It's supposed to be warming back up into the 60s and 70s the rest of this week, so that's definitely a positive. No moss winter. Be charming. Good evening. Good to see you. The human bunnies. I hope y'all are doing well. Just decided to go live and chit chat, see what's up. For Bunny, I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot going on the YouTubes, and I figured most people, if they were watching TV, they probably just got through watching the presidential address. I watched some of it. I'm guessing it wrapped up by now. But I watched a little bit myself just to see what the hype was about. Thought maybe they would bring E.T. out for a photo op, but that didn't happen. It kind of went about as much as I expected on what was said and what was not said as far as that type of thing goes, but just watched it just to see what the hype was about. Oh, he's a talker. Shoot. I thought I could do a good monologue when nobody's around and it's just me, but yeah. Flame on 420. I hope all is well. Man, I cut it off. I thought he was wrapping up, but shoot, if he's still going, man. Yeah, imagine that's how the marriage life goes sometimes, you know? You get your wife new stuff just so you could use it, you know? Imagine that's how it could go. Hopefully you didn't have to use it on any snow. Hopefully you saved snow from the northern snowpocalypse. Yeah. So what's going on in y'all's neck of the woods? Tell me something good. Wow, 27 more. I'm assuming that's 27 inches of snow. Man, that's too much. You could be. You could if you wanted to. Man, yeah. If we got half of that, shoot, it would. The South would shut down until officially spring. They would just say, "Yep, not just Florida's closed, but the entire Southeast, they're closed as well." I don't know. Hopefully my audio's good. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Who knows? I may just be up here rambling to myself. The clones are growing good. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. How much longer you got on something like that before you can get a harvest? Yeah, I'm a little behind on getting my tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that an early start, but I plan on doing that this week. I've got everything set up and ready to go. Wow, 284 inches of snow for the year. Man, that's more inches than I got common sense. That's just too much. Gotcha. Do a transitional, start them inside and put them outside. That's how I do on a lot of my stuff. Nice. Yeah, usually by now I would have probably been maybe 2 or 3 weeks into getting my tomatoes and peppers started, but I've been kind of procrastinating. But it shall be done. I still got time. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately they frown upon those type of flowers here on Georgia. I can grow anything else under the sun pretty much. But when it comes to Mary Jane's flowers, they frown upon it. Is there a limit on how many they let you grow at a time? I know some places that you can grow them. They put like limitations on how many you can have growing at a time, or how many you can grow like in a year, or however that goes. But I always do mine a little earlier anyway, just to get a little extra little head start, just in case something happens. Uh, just like anything, you may get some bad seeds, some may not do properly. Kind of gives me that extra little time to correct some things, and I always plan extra anyway. Even if I don't plant it directly for myself, I'll give them to somebody, let them grow it. If you want to grow, you got to pay. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, who knows what that fee is? You got to have a growers. You got to pay a grower's fee. You know. Good evening, Lady Smith. I hope all is well. Okay. 6 plants per adult with only three in flower. Yeah, I guess depending on how long each one took to get a harvest, yeah, you could time that just right, throughout the year. And a blessing it is. It is a blessing. Oh, that's totally understandable. I know this time of the year, yeah, the sickness and certain things, yeah, they can definitely have us set back and postpone, but we're still gonna make mission. That's one thing about it. You're right. Not even God seeds, man. Dang. Got to pay the cucumber tax and the tomato tax. Mm. Let's see here. See if I can manipulate and make something happen here. Hold your horses. We may get knocked into a different time and dimension all itself. Oh yeah, it's officially a party. Al's made it. What's up, Al? Put that link out there and see what happens. See what type of fish I get on the hook. We get a largemouth bass. No catfish tonight. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good. Energy feels good. The day was a good day. Got tested a few times, but ultimately everything worked out for the best. Yeah, yeah. Always praying for positivity. Sometimes maybe praying for recognition of the positivity we can't quite see. Things that are around us that we sometimes overmiss and overlook, with all the distractions and devices and news flashes and everything else we encounter day to day. You know, sometimes maybe not so much show me what I didn't see, but maybe show me what I missed. Show me what was there the whole time. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the State of the Union. I guess it's still going. I don't know. I turned it off. I thought it was kind of winding down, but I guess it caught a second gear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot to that. I watched a little short video on that earlier today. It was pretty interesting. I wish I could remember the way the guy worded it exactly. I don't want to misquote him. If I can find the video again, I'll try to repost it on the community. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I appreciate all y'all for being here. You know, it's the show about nothing and everything and nowhere and everywhere all at the same time. You just don't know. Yeah, yes, I did see him give some acknowledgments, some awards, some accreditations. I think it was that one young guy. I don't know what branch of the military he was in, but I think it was the guy that was rescuing people during the Texas floods last year. And I think he mentioned that he saved that one little girl that got a lot of fame. I can't remember her name, but I think they said he was accredited to saving over 100 and something people. Um, I don't know if it was just from the floods or as a career span. I don't know. The guy looked like he was pretty young, so I don't know. Transcendental experience. Could be. Could be a transcendental experience. It's definitely experience. No matter if it's trans or what, it's definitely an experience to be had. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just ready for spring. Constant warm weather. The leaves on certain things is already coming in. Some things is already kind of blooming. We have hope, everybody. It's been a long day. We know it's Taco Tuesday, but we have hope. Good evening, Hope Horizon. Welcome to Watts World, episode 2. The show about nothing and everything all at the same time. You can't beat it. S- Mm, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet y'all's winter up there, Al, extends a lot further than it does down here for sure. Two totally different ends of the spectrum, as far as weather wise. Shoot, I imagine y'all's winter probably don't start till about May. I think once you done made it to May up there, you probably thawed out and defrosted, starting to figure out where you at. There you go. Like a tall Seinfeld, like a less humorous, less handsome but more facial hair Seinfeld, like a Whitefeld. It's officially over, man. I don't know what the longest one was, but that one went almost 2 hours. Mother's Day, okay, yeah. I've seen some people say that. It is interesting seeing the people in the different growing zones. I know some of those factors come into play. I know there's a ways around certain things, greenhouse, indoor growing, that type of thing. But yeah, it's interesting to see everybody posting, doing that type of stuff. New ideas. I could see somebody growing or doing something up there, and I might not can do it exactly because I'm in a different growing season, but I can still take ideas and uses for and from it. Have had 3 inches of snow on May 5th. Oh no, I don't appreciate that at all. You can't have no snow on Cinco de Mayo. Shoot, no, we can't be having that one. We got to get the dang. They should address that tonight in the speech. You know what I mean? Like at some point, we just got to cut it off. It was the most beautiful, the longest speech, the best State of the Union speech ever. I didn't say that. Some people say that. I encouraged them to say it, but they said it. Oh yeah, I know what you mean, B. Especially like on the tomatoes and peppers and eggplants, stuff like that. I like to get an early start just 'cause summer comes so fast here in the South, with the humidity and the sun. Most other things I just direct seed. Squash, cucumbers, peas, different other vegetables, stuff like that. Radishes, carrots. I don't know. I forget when National Taco Day is, but I feel like you could make any day Taco Day. I love a good taco. I think any day in Y would suffice. Any day that ends in Y would suffice for a taco day. Me personally, I'm usually like a Taco Thursday or a Taco Friday type of guy. You know what I mean? Grace, it's good to see you, Grace. Welcome. I hope all is well. Hmm. Yeah, I think we're supposed to. I don't know. I think we're in the get down to the upper 40s here today for the low tonight, and then after that, the rest of this week for at least the next 10 days, it shows it nice. I know it's going to fluctuate, but No more snow or ice, that's for sure. Unless we get some type of freak accident. Al, if I become president, you can be part of my presidential cabinet. Pretty sure you have a very extensive skill set, so I would just let you pick your position, you know, whatever you feel like you could fit at. I don't know. I'm definitely giving you a position. Might even give you a bulldog hat too. See how the first term goes. You know what I mean? The first 100 days. After the first 100 days, if you're still in my presidential cabinet, then you get an honorary golden bulldog helmet. I know just in my 37 winters that I've experienced on this third rock from the sun, um, the last 3 to 4 winters have seemed to intensify to a certain degree. And by that, even it's still on the low standards, you know, even in the South, you know, the worst thing that we could really see or get in Georgia or like Florida or any of them isn't nothing compared to getting feet or inches of snow like the North will get. But it's a different type of thing, you know. Once you're above the Mason Dixon, you know you're going to get snow at some point. You know, you don't really know how much, you don't really know when, but you know it's coming. In the South, it's kind of like our one day, once a year event, you know. We get the ice storm, it shuts us down. We get the snow apocalypse, we're shut down, you know. People freak out. They suddenly go buy all the bread, eggs, milk, and toilet paper. And I'm like, man, you know, what's happening here? But, you know, let's see here. I'm just rambling. That's why it's the show about nothing and everything at the same time. But yeah, so I think it was like Christmas 3 years ago. That was like the coldest Christmas I can ever remember. The high for that Christmas here was 25. It was 25 on the 25th. And then last year we got the little freak snowstorm, icy mix, and it wasn't too bad. It shut things down for maybe like a day, you know. And but then this year, shoot, I got at least about 5 inches on my property. Some people up near the river and the lake, they got a few more. But it's interesting for sure. Let's see here, what we got going on. Uh-oh. We got an existential crisis. Hold on, stand by. Oh man, we got too many existential crises. Hold on, I was not prepared for this. Hold on. I don't even think I can have that many G's. Let me see if my Taco Bell Wi-Fi is still pulling. Hold on.
I'm not missing this one, damn it.
Oh my
Yo, man, how about that?
goodness.
You are officially and honorarily the second guest on Watts World. How do you feel about that?
It's better than third.
Well, Bonnie beat you. She was the first honorary guest, you know.
Bonnie Rock, she's right there for you. I'm sorry I wasn't.
You have to take silver.
No. I take over.
Well, sometimes she needs a nap too, though, Watt. I mean,
I already have that.
All right, we're ready to go for at least a few hours. Play
Baby
them on,
girl.
420.
Baby girl came and climbed up in my lap and conked, and so I just kind of put my head on hers and conked with
Wait
it.
a minute, you had a baby?
My little granddaughter.
Oh, all right. That would explain why you ain't been around a lot, right?
Well, no. We've all been sick with the flu. And I'm talking, this is a different kind of flu.
Al Bundy, did you just call me a hoe?
It's a hoedown. Whatever interpretation that may be, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we can call her.
He may be doing some gardening. I don't know.
Boot scoot and boogie.
Well, you got snow down there, Watt? What's going on down in your
Oh
part
no,
of
it's over, man. It happened. Once snowpocalypse hit, that's it.
Ah,
You know.
What about you, Bonnie? You got any weird weather going on, or things generally
Nope.
normal?
we are in the 50s tonight and getting up into the 80s tomorrow. Sunny, beautiful, ready to hit the road. I can't get
Hey, you
the
don't have to
others
rub it in.
ready.
You don't have to rub it in.
I'm sorry. And I feel for all of y'all that have that snow. What did I hear Ryan Hall call it? Snowicane. He said it was a snow hurricane. And when he showed it off the East Coast, that's exactly what it looked like. A hurricane going up the East Coast.
Are you sure it's not a bomb, cyclone, blizzard, or something exotic?
Oh yeah.
No, White got that.
Oh yeah. I got the bomb cyclone. Man, it was weird. Yeah, you could. I mean, literally just see everything just swirling in just a icy, snowy mix. I never seen anything like it. You know,
You got
it was probably a cakewalk for somebody like you. You know what I mean? But for the South of my area to get something like that, it was unseen in my 37 winters of experience.
you got a kite? What? It's good kite flying weather.
Oh yeah, I could have flew the heck out of a kite. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have been able to see it, but it would have been up there.
Wrapped around all the lines or something.
Well, you can feel when you lose it. You know, the line goes a little, different. What's up, Lady Smith?
So how are you doing, Carl?
Me? Oh, I'm just peachy as a pie. All right, I'm just trying to keep the most positive attitude you can have. Don't I just sound great?
This is a Peach sponsored broadcast, so I appreciate you saying that. We endorse the Peaches here.
Driving, man. I got heat going on. I got a full belly. I got my truck insurance is covered for the month, so I'm feeling all right. I mean, thank you for asking. I'm gonna get through this. All right, I've been scrapping shit. I got me a giant pile of aluminum. I've started on a pile of copper now. I got me some high value items to sell, and I got some possible buyers. I'm not just sitting idle. I've been busy for days now doing this shit. I'm gonna get out of it. All right, I'm gonna find a way to fuck out of this situation.
I need to find somebody with some copper wiring they want to dump off. Sell something.
Well, you're collecting copper now for your personal use, or you want to just scrap it too?
I want to use it in my garden and see what happens.
Oh, well, it ain't gonna be cheap unless you find it somewhere yourself. It ain't gonna be cheap. And copper prices are not cheap.
Oh, I know.
I want to get some copper tubing for a project I want to make. I got that wood stove that's here in the truck. It's round, not just a stack, but I'm gonna wrap it in copper tubing and make a hot water heater for the wood stove, and that's gonna cost me, So unless I find that tubing somewhere.
I thought you had already done that.
Nope. Can't afford the copper tubing. I got the water pump. I've got fittings. I got everything I need except for the copper tubing. It was a sticker shock. All right, it was one of those deals.
Yes. You know, I looked at copper one day and it was like 37 cents, I think. And I was all, y'all, I have a feeling copper is the way to go right now. And the next day it just went and I said, well, that was a little late.
Well, I got 2 big jars of pennies I've been saving for a while now. And I just got those out and I'm going to sort through them and I'm going to spend every one of those modern ones. Anything older than 83 will have a lot of copper in it. Anything newer from 83 on has very little copper in it. So I'm going to spend those puppies and then I'm just going to save up all the old ones that I can find. See what I got.
Mary Freeland, good evening. Glad you could join us. How about the other day in some change? I got back a wheat penny and 2 bicentennial quarters, not at the same time, but within the same weekend.
That's good stuff. I actually got a couple
So
of the
how the heck is a wheat
bicentennial
penny still in
quarters recently.
circulation?
Yeah, I got
It
one.
went
A
straight
couple
into
of
my
those
wheat penny
recently.
jar.
Wonder if that's intentional, man, because I just got 2 of them, the bicentennials. But the wheat pennies, there's a place over here, a concrete pad where a building used to be. Every time I walk over there, I find pennies, even sometimes silver change. But I found a steel wheat penny from 43, and I found a couple other wheat pennies over there. So I keep
I've got
going
some
over there and
steel
looking around.
pennies.
I give them to my buddy. He collects them. They're really not worth that much. But
Yeah.
I hear that a copper penny from before 83 is actually got a 3 cents value to it in copper weight.
Huh.
That's what I said. I don't, of course I read that on the internet, so take it as you want.
Just, anything value, I could know somebody that I could sell an item to for $20. You may know and somebody to sell the same item to, and you can get 250. Sometimes it's who you know and where's the sale. You may know a sale, but
you're
you
darn
know about the
right.
logistics dealing with eBays and different type of transactions.
Yeah, you bet. That's that's hustling. That's the mode I'm
Yeah,
in right now. All right. I'm all about making some money any way I can here, as long as it's legal and morally,
that's it.
sound. You know.
As long as you can have peace of mind and sleep at night for whatever it is. But yeah, this ain't nothing wrong with
Well,
having a little hustle, a little go getter in yourself. You know what I mean?
well, I fell into one. All right, I fell into one, and now I'm actually acting on it because I've got this little lot that I rented first, and then I have use of this big lot that because of the buildings and I'm taking care of the place. But there's this other adjacent lot next to me with these abandoned buildings on it. And I ended up meeting that guy. And we went in there and he showed me around. He's got all this old grow equipment. They were going to create a marijuana growing business here. And it fell through the back when they tried it. The city fought them and they lost. And they just gave up. Well, they left all this fucking equipment behind. It's sitting in an unlocked fucking barn. And the only reason they ain't disappeared is because of me, anyways. And I talked to him one day. He's, dude, do what you want with it. It's a fucking liability. So now I've got some equipment that I'm selling, and I'm hoping to make something on it. And I'll cut them in on it. I'll give them a portion of that.
Well,
we'll see.
Being that
Could be a good thing.
your state and your area is, 420 friendly to whatever degree it is.
Well, it's some wild shit, dude. And it's wild stuff. Stuff I didn't even know existed. Big machinery and shit. It took a lot for me just to carry it out of the building. All right. It's
just different grow equipment or various
yeah,
stuff.
we're talking all kinds of lighting and pots and ventilation systems.
Oh, the lighting
And
itself. I ain't telling you nothing that you don't know, but the lighting in itself, if all of it's intact and still works, it's
oh,
worth whatever. And even for the simple
There's
fact,
literally
even some of the lights
hundreds.
I used, I just retrofitted them. You know, the lights that I used to grow my vegetables and stuff. I don't got no money in them, just my time. I took the ballast loose and just converted them to LED. You know,
All right, let me give you an idea. There's like 50 ballasts piled up in there. We're talking cases of grow bulbs, the glass ones, the big ones, cases of them. We're talking buckets and
new.
buckets of those big bulbs and those little bulbs and the green bulbs and LED light racking and LED high intensity systems. There's so much lighting there that it's been
So
an
much.
education just researching this shit. All right,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Nah, yeah, you got you something there. Yeah, you'll figure out what to do with it. But yeah, all that. Yeah,
yeah, the
shoot.
way I'm seeing it is if I could fucking actually pull this off, find this stuff at home,
I
it
wish we was
might be
closer.
enough.
I'd like to check it out and see what you got. Heck.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You think the bulbs are worth saving? Because that's like the last thing I was thinking. This stuff looks expensive to run,
Well, I mean,
Jimmy.
if the
And big
bulbs are good, you
giant
know,
stuff.
if it's stuff that's like unopened, you know, I mean, they still
Yeah,
have the
that's what
worth
I
for
mean. There's
people that have
lots of that.
certain
I'll tell you
setups.
what.
Certain bulbs are hard to get, you know.
Bonnie, did you got Watt's information? Do you know how to get a hold of him in real
Bulbage
life?
matters, you know
So,
what I mean. You got to have good bulbage.
well, listen. Listen for a sec, because Bonnie, if you got Watt's info, share it with him. I'm gonna send Watt some photographs. All right, because
I
I
done
got,
emailed you and gave you my number. What do you mean? You're
dude.
already
I
in the
do. I
fold.
am connected. We are connected.
I gave you my
Are
number.
we?
I text you and I said, hey, this is what, you know.
All right. Well, hey, all right. You know, reason why I
I'm gonna
forget
double
that is
check.
because I talk to so many people, dude. I'm connected with
I
so
know.
many. I'm glad
But
that
when
we're
I end
connected.
this later on, I'm gonna go back. Sure, I'm pretty sure I got you saved, and I'm gonna resend you a message just in case.
Well, yeah, because now I'm a little bit. I want your opinion, dude. There's so much there. We're talking. There's a whole barn room full of weird lights and hoods and ballast, and then there was buckets of bulbs, and I'm talking all different shapes, big giant motherfuckers the size of a flower vase and bigger. You know, there's just so much shit going on in there. It's hard to for a novice just to absorb.
Yeah, you got to figure out where to start. Yeah, yeah,
But hey, this might be a ticket out of my hole here. All right. So I'm putting some effort into it.
yeah.
There's some computer digital controlled shit, man. And you know,
You're probably different control systems for lightings. You know, to turn the lightings on different to simulate different seasons or grow patterns. You know.
all that, all that and
Hmm.
more. There's just you know, there's some kind of pumps with computer
My
controls and shit.
the guy I worked for, he went up to North Georgia and did some consulting work for this company. I can't remember what their name is, but basically what they do is they buy old shipment containers and they retrofit it to make these grow pods. You know, you could grow whatever you want in them, but they were getting shipped to Oregon. So anyway, but uh, they were getting completely wired up with LED heating and cooling, and completely just like simulate an entire grow season with light and everything inside. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's actually some of these. There's there's these LED light racks lot that I looked up, and they're like $1,000 a piece. They've got, oh, I don't know, like 6 different runs of LED lighting on it. And it's a great big fucking rack that you
Or
hang.
I
Hey,
think
Lily.
you're in a really good spot because I mean, there's growers and stuff around you. You ultimately could reach out to. You could reach out to see if there's any like electricians or any like electrical people in your area. You know,
Right, right. And you know, there's other stuff I found. You know, by the old hoppers and stuff. They're like 300-pound motors in there, AC motors that used
AC
to run the
motors.
conveyor. Yeah, that used to run the conveyors. And I know that there's probably 80 pounds of copper in that fucking
Yeah,
motor.
those
And
might just
I'm,
be scrap value. You know,
yeah, and I can see 6 of them. So I might be looking into
oh, 80
scrapping those.
pounds times six. I mean, that's a pretty good one on that one. You know,
Yeah, that'd be
and
just
that's just
adding
from
to my
that. You know, I'm
pile.
pretty sure in your mix you're going to find a lot more.
Hopefully. Well, I got full run of this joint. I already, like I said, I got a giant pile. When that roof caved in on that really long barn, it threw pieces of aluminum in all directions. So I had to pick it up anyway, so I just piled it up. And now I've got a couple 100 pounds in aluminum. you know, be
That's
doing
good.
some scrap runs here real soon. I got to clean some of it though. Some of it's too dirty to clean. You got to clean it up. You can't just
Yeah.
take it in, or they'll get less money for it.
So definitely seems like to be a beneficial relationship. You know what I mean? Because like you said, I mean, like most places, man, people, the type of people that look to do bad things, they look for stuff that's like unattended and nobody's around because they know, nobody's come around in a while. So to have it cleaned up and they know somebody's there, that definitely would deter somebody. You know?
Well, it's amazing that vandals haven't gone in there and just broke all those light bulbs, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
usually what would happen in a
Nothing else, just
situation like
destroy
that.
good stuff because they had nothing else better to do, I guess.
I think it's my presence here for the last couple of years that prevented that, to be honest. I don't know. It's been weird, dude. I've caught people trying to dump shit here. I caught a guy with must be his son, like an 8-year-old kid, dumping shit on the property. And, he lied to me. He said, "Oh, I've got use of this property." I said, "No, you don't." And when I turned around, he ran. All right. And they dumped a bunch of pavers. All right. Nice garden pavers, the ones you pay $2.50 a piece for, like 100 of them. So to me, it was like, okay, that's 100 free pavers, and I hooked my buddy up with them. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Something like that. Yeah,
right. You can dump good stuff here. Just don't dump no tires. Don't dump nothing gross. I'll catch you.
yeah. No doubt.
You can dump
Yeah,
some
I know that was a
firewood.
bad thing around here when Helena first came through, man. People was just, and it's understandable. They're trying to get the debris out of the way, but they was just dumping it in like the worst spots, you know what I mean? And that was just causing more of a situation because now you can't get certain crews that can come in and do certain things because now they got to get the stuff back out of the way or out of the road. But, yeah, man.
I got on this place is strange, right? There was a lot of things that happened that I didn't know about before I was here. A lot of
Hmm.
homeless breaking into the buildings. A lot of cops were called on us. Just last night, the cops showed up again because I had the big door open. He's like, "Oh, it's just you. All right, we're just checking. We noticed the door was open. Now everybody knows I'm here, including the weasels. All right, the weasels know I'm here too because I
Yeah, the
see them.
weasels already know.
Yep, and they, I've been deterring them for a while. I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
Real,
they know
you
people are
know,
there. They don't know when and where. They just know not to go there.
I'll catch you. And I've told some of them, like, the naked one. I told them there's cameras all over here, because I caught a young couple screwing over here one day.
Oh
I
my
got a
goodness.
full eyeful.
Yeah, hey, man, it's just things happen. We see it. We all see things. Ain't that
The weird
that's the
part
same
was,
property you was on last year where all the fruits and stuff you were picking?
yes, well, that's part of I mean, they touch each other. They're separately owned, but yeah.
There you go.
No, that was weird, man. Because I was working in the shop and somebody said, "Hey, Carl, somebody's out there," and I go out there and I walk up like a cop does. The trick is there's a blind spot behind every vehicle. If you stay within a certain range, you can walk right up to the passenger or driver door and stay out of the mirror view, and they don't see you
It
coming.
happens, Lily. It
Yeah, well,
happens.
that's what I do, and I walk up, and that's when I realize, oh, she's completely naked. Right? We got this like 20-year-old beautiful girl, completely naked, jumping off of the naked guy in the passenger seat. And she looks at me and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can't we park here?" And I'm like, "Well, you can, but there's cameras all over the place."
It's a little too
And she
late to
goes,
ask for
"Oh,
that.
okay, thank you." And she's getting dressed. But the weird part was when they left. All right, they drove by the shop down the road, and when they left, they were like all happy and waving at me like I was their long lost friend or some shit.
Oh, because it was over at that point. Everybody was happy, Carl. You know, you were
I
happy they
see him
left. They was
naked
happy
already,
because, you
so
know. But
I'm
what
like
time of the
family
day
because
was
I
this?
saw him naked. I see what it is. I know what it
Was
is.
it
I'm like family now because I saw him
was this
start
around
naked.
lunchtime?
Yeah, in fact, it was.
I know it. It's just getting, you know, a little lunch break, you know. Things happen, you know.
Afternoon delight.
You know,
They were
mid afternoon to night, yeah.
they were
They never
thinking
came back.
they probably gave Carl a thrill.
At that point, you know, if you gotta ask, is it okay? It's too late, you know, it's just you just gotta go. Just leave, we'll forget it all happened.
Hey, Bonnie, it's only a thrill if it's mine. All right, it wasn't no
There you
thrill.
go.
But
That's
actually, there was one of those
Anti
shaking my
thrill.
fucking head moments. You know what I mean?
It was
Because it
just
wasn't really
real.
that hidden. You could hide better than that. That's my, that's why I was shaking my head. You're kind of like right here in the
Hmm.
open, man.
Little 2-piece and a biscuit lunch special, you know.
I
they
know
probably
I'll bet you anything they were cheating on something. One of them was cheating on somebody.
I mean,
Oh,
hey, I would hope not, you know, but
nah,
yeah.
man, come on. You go to a hotel room or something with somebody, if you're sneaking around, you go to a fucking back lot somewhere and park by an abandoned building, right? I don't know.
don't judge me. Welcome. Welcome to the show about everything and nothing all at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. Welcome in.
Enter at your own risk.
Yeah. Um, you know, it's quiet, you know, you'll see them little things, you know, it's still winter everywhere. You just wait till spring and
Wait a
summer where
minute, wait a minute.
things start blooming, blossoming,
I gotta
pollinating,
ask
and
a question.
propagate.
I need elaboration. What do you mean by legs and thighs, Lily? You got nice legs. I like a guy with
Some
good
people are
game.
just the dark meat kind of people, you know. You like the legs and the
Damn
thighs, or
man.
you like the breast and the wings, you know.
I'm a leg man.
I only
It's
give you
always
4 parts, unless you like the neck, unless you're a turkey neck man.
mm-mm.
Ain't just much, ain't much there, you know.
Not see, you totally sidetracked my thoughts. What are we talking about?
I don't. That's why it's the show about everything and nothing all at the same time. It's
So
wherever you want it to go.
so I have to give a warning.
All right.
Um
I appreciate warnings.
Like a
because
DEF CON warning? What kind of a warning?
no, I fall for stupid things sometimes, I guess. So
That's my favorite hobby.
I ordered this book and um I'm kind of disappointed at how small it is, but anyway, it's called Food Preservation Recipes Bible. And
Seems like I've heard of that or something similar.
it's from patriotpublications.com.
Okay.
So that's okay, except they're trying now to sell me every other book in existence that they make, I guess. And I keep saying no. But then there was this it was a trial makeup. It's a foundation and color match. You guys wouldn't understand.
I
So
know, no, I know what foundation is. It's like spackling. It's like when you're doing drywall or plasters, the spackling part. You got to put down
well,
the
Same, yeah.
base
not quite
before you put
that
the paint
big,
on.
but okay. And
Before you put the
uh,
paint on or the primer.
so the deal was you pay the shipping for a sample to see if you like it. And so that was like $6 and something. Okay, cool. No problem.
Hmm.
Paid that. Well, when I looked at my account today, now they're trying to take out $90. And I'm like, for what? I haven't even got the
Man, they
sample.
put you on the platinum plan. Nice.
Right. And
They're taking
so
liberty.
then there was another one, another charge and I can't remember if it was from the book people. And so now I got to go to the bank, dispute all that, get a new card, the whole.
Yeah, get rid of those folks' money. I don't know what they're selling, but yeah, don't buy it. Glad you told us.
Yeah, but it's,
It's shrinkflation. You know what I mean? It's shrinkflation. Everything's like those late 90s, early 2000s info commercials about buy this now, but wait, there's more. A lot of this stuff is just,
well, don't charge me until I say, yes, I want more.
Yeah, they just assumed you wanted the platinum package. They was excited to have a new customer. I was like, man.
And it's sad that you can't trust people to just do what they say they're going to do. Kind of.
You're fucking right.
It happens. Definitely happens.
Get you on that automatic payment method so they can, hope that you don't notice, but they're gonna, hoping they're gonna get a paycheck for eternity.
Oh no, I notice. I keep really close eye on my accounts because
you got it.
I don't like to spend frivolously, and the makeup, it kind of was a frivolous expenditure, but whatever. It's okay.
Namaste. I'm glad you can make it. Good to see you. I hope all is well.
You gotta watch your shit. Back in the day, this is probably 8-9 years ago or so now. I don't know. Time's kind of going by, but I knew that during the wintertime, the electric bill was going to be a lot more, and I prepared for that. I saved for it, and I expected it. Because the furnace is running, and using electric heater or whatever the hell, every winter the electric bill like doubled, sometimes tripled. Well, I knew that the minute spring broke and the cold weather relented, that my bill would go down like it always did, because I was looking forward to that too. And my bill didn't change, and then the next month it didn't change again. It's still like a $300 fucking electric bill, and I'm like, no, this ain't right. And so I started calculating the wattage usage on all of my appliances and like double checking the fucking wiring and making sure and everything's right. So I finally call them up and say, hey, look, man, my electric bill should be going down. I'm using a hell of a lot less electric, and here's what I got going, and it just ain't right. Something's wrong. Well, it took me a couple people, and finally I get some guy. I go, oh, I see what's going on. We put you on the such and such program that it just evens it all out. We're calculating what we think you're going to be spending. So and now your bill's going to be the same all throughout the year. I'm like, wait, stop right the fuck there. You put me on a program and didn't tell me about it. And they're like, well, we do this with everybody, sir. And I'm like, no. God, I want the fucking manager. I want to talk to somebody of power here now. And ended up, these motherfuckers owed me like $800. And I was pretty fucking pissed. I'm like, I cannot afford to lend a fucking utility company $800. All right. Give me my fucking, and they ended up having to send me a check in the mail. I was fucking pissed off. Still kind of pissed off.
Hey, Woosah.
I have heard a lot of people saying electric bills are staying up high even as it warms up.
Oh yeah, we just round it out. No, nothing to see here. We're just going to round it out. We're going to estimate what you're going to use over the year.
Well, I'm wondering if they are compensating for the data centers.
They can compensate.
Well, allegedly, from what I was seeing, and then I even seen earlier in the speech something like that was mentioned, even in the speech, that allegedly they're supposed to be in charge of providing their own power or whatever that may be. So, of course, you're going to have on-site power, basically like a miniature power plant, whatever that may be, logistically to make that happen. That's one thing. But ultimately, if it is independent or if it is connected to other things, if it's connected to other things, then ultimately it's connected to the infrastructure. So I mean, it is going to be interesting to see how those things pan out.
Well,
Ultimately, you
not
don't
only
want to see them
that,
happen, but you just
I've
don't know the how far it can go
I
ultimately
actually
till you
have
see it happens.
that
now
I've
you
been
say
wanting
that,
to
Watt.
hear
I've known people that
about that.
growing weed have ended up with a $30,000 a month light bill. All right. It would cost thousands of dollars to run this kind of lighting that I'm talking that's in there. All right. That shit will eat your power right up. But some people have gotten pretty smart about it, and you can buy military issue, 15K gen sets and stuff, and you could run that lighting off of a generator much cheaper than because these ones, they're like diesel and shit. You can run it a lot cheaper yourself than going on the grid and doing that.
Ultimately, you'd have to have a power source of some sort. But just in my limited experience dealing with a lot of lights, the older style with ballast, the older ones will go out, and like you've seen it, you cut on a light, and the lights just flicker, and you might just see a little piece of the light cutting on. But ultimately, regardless if the switch or not, it's steadily, constantly, drawing power of some sort. So over time they go bad. A lot of times we do
Yeah.
retrofits. We come in and eliminate the ballast, direct wire it, and convert it to use to plug LED lights in. Or at that point, any style light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, a
we do a lot of
30,000 volt
rewiring packages
transformer,
like that.
Yeah.
you could
If I
drown out
was
a
growing
30,000 volt transformer easily.
if I was growing something that significant, I would go solar, I think.
The solar, all right, the solar lights, man, I'm telling you, if you get a gray day like today, my solar lights have hardly any charge. You know, the only
Oh,
time that the solar lights really work well is when you get a full on sunny day all day long. All right, that's what it really
yeah.
does matter. But, I've got proof in the pictures. I've grown plenty of weed outdoors with buds the size of my arms without any lighting, any kind of hoopla at all, just swamp dirt and dirt mixed together and a lot of sunshine.
Yeah.
If I grow, it's going to be outdoors. We're talking giant purple buds and shit.
Oh man, it's an honor. Caucasian Sasquatch. Good to see you, my Georgia brother.
Boy,
I
you
hope
want to
all is
talk about
well.
a hide and seek champion? Imagine how well an albino Sasquatch can hide.
And Larry, good to see you.
Currently 43. That's about where we're at. We're about at 40 right now. After the night, looks like the coast is clear.
Well, I slept in. I got nowhere to be. I'm full of
Oh, you got
energy,
to be
and
somewhere. You
you
just didn't
know,
know you'd be here right there at this very moment in time.
I'm ready to go. What you got?
What do you
Uh-oh.
want? What do you want? I'm ready
I
to go
want
in
it
any
all.
direction it can go.
I want it all in even
Well, not
increments.
so much north. I take that back. Let's keep it below the Mason-Dixon line if we're going to speak geographical places, but ideas anywhere.
Let's talk about aliens, man. I did not see one
All right, let's
alien.
do it. What you got? I like some
I
good
didn't see
alien
a single
conversations.
one. There was none at the State of the Union address. I kept watching for
There was a lot
aliens.
of hype about that, but I honestly I didn't think there would be much. It was kind of like, you know, I thought it was what it was or what it was going to be for the most part. I didn't watch the whole thing. Obviously, when I cut it out, there was like a whole nother hour. I thought it was winding down, but yeah, no
No, I
alien
got it
talk.
on good authority that aliens are up next. All right.
They gotta be, they
That's what
gotta
I
be
think.
next. You know, we'll have the alien invasion will probably be before we get a new Grand Theft Auto. Ultimately, if you're in
Keep
the
your eye on
gaming
that
world, you know what I
Sasquatch
mean.
there too. Keep an eye on that Sasquatch. You know that the Sasquatch that was in the $6 million man, that was an alien-made cybertronic Sasquatch. That wasn't even a living
See what I'm
creature, man.
saying? got
That was an
intergalactic
alien robot.
cybertronic Sasquatches now. When did that? You know what I mean?
That was
That's
in
just
the
one more
70s,
thing we got to
man. That's
worry
all the way
about.
back in the 70s. I think they were trying to tell us something.
I don't even think we can mention that again. I think we just lost a second on the doomsday clock, allegedly.
Did you say alien made Sasquatch?
Yes, the aliens made a
Yeah.
robot Sasquatch, and he had to go fight, Steve Austin, the Bionic Man, the $6 million man. They fought and shit. He ripped his arm off,
Hold on.
and beat him
Steve
with it.
Austin was his name, was the $6 million man's name?
Yeah.
Get out of here. You can't make this type of stuff up.
No, that was before the other guy.
That was before my day.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Stone Cold. I'm thinking like, dang, Stone Cold was taking on the Sasquatches. He's trying to be like Chuck Norris now.
Colonel Steve Austin. Okay, he was Colonel Steve Austin. So
okay, yeah, that's a higher rank. Yeah, the other one he was just Miller High ranked. Miller High Life or whatever beer he was drinking.
We got Lady Smith's juices flowing. She liked Lee Majors.
No,
Yeah,
that was cleaner. Wait, what?
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah.
there you go.
In your dream.
You don't remember him singing that? It was the Fall Guy, Bonnie, where Lee Majors, he actually did marry Farrah Fawcett. And then in his next TV show after the $60 million man, he sung about it. Thought it was hilarious.
Did they last?
I mean, I laughed a lot, and I thought it was hilarious.
No, did their marriage last? Or did they stay together? Did they?
No, but they were friends till the end.
What decade did the $6 million man come out? Was that in the 70s?
That actually, the movie came out in 1973, and the series started from 1974 to 78.
Huh.
And then,
Really?
of course, you had and the return of the.
Surprised nobody tried to remake that series or movie.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. There's been several of them. They even had kids and shit. There's several movies that didn't, get any much popularity that followed up.
I must have been watching the reruns.
Yeah, I don't know what I was watching now. I'm questioning everything. I think I just got Mandela.
Well,
you know what I mean? We didn't account for the shrinkflation.
That's the thing about that shit. If you missed an episode of the $6 Million Man in the 70s, you had to fucking wait 20 years to see it on the internet. All right, it didn't just come up in a VCR, or you couldn't rent it at Blockbuster. If you missed a fucking episode, you were screwed for decades.
See what I'm saying? Look at here. We got the Alien Warrior Incorporated. You know what I mean? The Intergalactic Federation has been confirmed. You know what I mean?
So we have Sasquatch and Alien Warrior.
See what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff you get here. You get everything and nothing all at one time.
Bill Bixby was the Hulk. He was also in what was it, the Family Affair? You remember with the kids, and Bill Bixby was the stepfather, and
probably seen a clip or a highlight. I'm a late '80s baby.
I know you're young.
I know about the things, but I still got to look up the things sometimes.
You remember Family Affair, right, Bonnie? It was really weird to see the father go from that show to the Hulk.
I don't remember Family Affair. Carl, I was not much of a TV watcher.
Oh, yeah, you're right, B. The Courtship of Eddie's Father. I'm sorry, I got the two mixed up.
There you go.
They were both on the same spectrum, though. One of those shows that I immediately turned the channel to something better.
Definitely. It's fascinating, really.
Little twins in the shed.
Oh, yeah. See, chat will set you straight, man. You make a mistake, they'll clue you in. I appreciate that.
You can't ask me. I have no idea. Now I know.
What was the doll that everybody had to have in the 60s? Mrs. something, Mrs. What was that? Mrs. Bigsby, Mrs. Bigsby. There was a doll from that show that gained much popularity. Probably ain't worth crap today, though.
Everybody had to have it.
Yeah. Miss Beasley. There you go. You have a Miss Beasley? All right. Now I totally don't.
Miss Beasley doll. Never
Yeah.
heard of it, I don't think.
Well, she's
I have to
got
look it
one.
up later.
I'm never going to look at Lady Smith the same way. All right.
I haven't seen it either.
She's an acquirer of antiquities, you know.
My
We
mom
collect
had a
things.
Shirley Temple doll from her childhood. It was like in mint condition. It came with a cobalt blue serving base or some shit, you know, like a little doll size.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric.
What's up,
Eric.
Eric?
Well, why? I'm not touching that one. You can do whatever you want to with it.
What happened? What are we touching? Depends on what it is.
Aliens comment. It's a show or hide. I'm just like
I don't even see anything.
leaving
No,
it there.
no, that's for your eyes only, Bonnie, because I don't see it either.
Oh, somebody must have hit it.
All right. Well, it is what it is. I don't know. But
Yeah, you're gonna have to make up some mods. You're gonna have to go over to the YouTube
I don't know if I can
site.
do it while I'm live, you know.
Well, you can actually, you can leave if you have to and come back as long
Yeah, I
as
don't
we
want to
stay
test it right now.
But
I'll add a few. I'll add a few
Yeah.
after this is said and done. After this broadcast wraps up.
Well, sometimes you have to wait like 24 hours for your chat to show up. All right, then you can go back into your chat of your show that you did a day ago, and
Yeah.
and you can click on the little 3 dots next to any name, and it'll give you the option to making them a moderator.
All right.
It looks like Eric's volunteering.
I got you, Eric. You'll definitely have one after the night. But yeah, the aliens. I don't know. What do you think it's gonna be like? Think we're gonna? How do you think it's gonna happen? Like Independence Day aliens?
I'm just okay.
If I see an alien bot, I'm going to automatically assume it's a demon or an angel. All right. And I'm going to hope that I can have my discernment tell me which it's going to be.
Yeah. I'm just kind of going by whatever label they kind of throw on it, you know.
And then I'm going to hijack their UFO and pick up a few people and fly the fuck out of here. I'm going to take a joyride.
I believe if anybody could do that, I believe your skill set would definitely allow that to happen. You know what I mean? And if you do some type of way, text me, and you can fly over Georgia so I can get some pretty cool shots and videos. You know what I mean? I'd appreciate that. Very kind, sir. And, you know.
Yep.
To infinity and beyond.
I don't know what their gas mileage is, but it's got to be pretty good.
Pretty sure it's infinite, you know. If you can go into infinity and beyond, I'm pretty sure you're good, you know. You ain't got to pull over and gas it up or charge it in. You're good for like 1,000 quantum gigawatts.
I'm going to have a whole crew, all right? Because like 420, he's volunteering.
Oh, 420's in the crew. You know what I mean? Shoot. He's in there.
And he's got weed, all right? That'd be essential for space travel.
Of course, you know. Pretty sure that's in the Space Traveler's Handbook somewhere.
So I'm thinking if this is the push from the powers that believe that.
Here we go. People like kittens. Nice.
That they're going to roll out more things that they think we don't know about, or maybe things we really don't know about. And call it alien. Because to a lot of people, it would be alien.
You know,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I get that. War of the World 2.0, Project Bluebeam.
Yes. Yes.
I think it would have to be like an all or nothing situation, you know.
Well, I could picture this, all right, where they do this Jesus Returns skit, you know, and convince a lot of the population that it is time for tribulation, you know, and imagine how scared people were in 1937 during War of the Worlds when they heard it on the radio. There were people that actually thought aliens were attacking. If they could pull that off and get, you know, the world to think that it was the end, it could get pretty ugly pretty quick.
Yes.
Well, it could be. You know what I mean? You think of that time period when, you know, if you were lucky enough to have a radio, you know, there wasn't no TVs, no cell phones. You know, if you were hearing about something, it was by the radio at that point in the evening. So now they've added a whole new aspect of it. You got the visual, you know, you got the audio, you know, you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so much more. That was just a guy talking over a radio.
Right.
When you had millions thinking that way then, yeah.
It would be like 1977 sitting in the theater when the THX audio system kicked in on the first Star Wars movie. First time anybody had ever heard the sound surround them in the theater.
Yeah, you know, got
What,
that moment.
what year did that broadcast come out?
1937. It could have been
So
36.
it
It was
was
36 or 37. It was one of those two.
It was during the 30s, I believe, or somewhere in that time period. Excuse me.
says that right after World War One or during.
It was during the Depression, I believe. Right after or during.
Yeah, it
So
was towards the end of it, but yeah, it was
they
right
were
before World War
already
II. Man.
they were already fearful. I could see that happen.
It was a
Look,
certain
man,
state
we
of
were
mind,
talking
you know,
about
definitely.
aliens and shit.
Yeah.
And look at who shows up. See what I told you? I'm sticking with it, man. Anytime you talk about really weird shit, Virginia Roots is gonna appear.
That's what I like about it. You know what I mean? Virginia. It's good to see you. I hope all is well.
Virginia.
Or even the story, you know, a lot of people, they think about, I guess when we think of aliens as we know them to be, whatever they may be, demonic, supernatural, something or whatever it may be. You know, I guess a lot of people think of what's the city, what's the alien city in New Mexico? Roswell. You know, a lot of people think of Roswell, but there was a big incident that happened. I think it was 50 years before that. I think it was in 1890 something. It was in Aurora, Texas. It was a
Is
town
that
of Aurora, Texas. I
did
can't
you see
remember the
that movie
specifics, but there was a
Cowboy?
lot of reports that came out from behind that. It was a big crash of some sort, you know.
Yeah, did you see that one? What the Cowboys versus Aliens movie?
That's where we're at now. That is the current timeline that we're at. If we see that in real life, I wouldn't be surprised, you know.
Oh,
Cowboys
we got
versus aliens,
Cole up
let's do
in
it.
the house.
I have
See,
seen the movie though.
it's a
Hey,
good
Cole.
movie. I like that one. Cola's
Cola,
in the house.
good evening. That is an interesting concept, you know what I mean? You just Cowboys versus aliens, you know. Let's do it.
Anthony Crouch. See, everybody's finding
Anthony,
you. What?
all the
This is a
legends
good
are in
thing.
chat. Man, I
You know,
appreciate y'all being here.
this community needed you to go live, man.
No, you showed the cat. You showed the kitten, and then you started talking about aliens, and we trended. We're trending like 250 millionth in the world right now, dude. We've reached the
Well,
billion threshold. There you go. We just gained 2 more viewers, dude. There you go.
see if I
What's
can
the
get her.
cat's name?
This is Puff. Can you hear her purring?
Her,
Trying to grab.
Puff.
See, she's
There
like
you
a
go.
biscuit maker. See those paws? She's constantly making biscuits. All right.
She senses the bulldog. It gets him a little nervous. You know what I mean? I think she senses it's a good dog, though.
she's a pest. She would get she'll get right up in my face, man. She don't care. She just really clingy.
I called a truce. I called a truce with the feline community. Uh-oh, hold on. I don't think we got. We might have to pull. We might have to add another 10 Gs. We're pulling too many bandwidths. Hold on, one here. Let's see here.
Too many bandwidths.
Too many bandwidths. Yeah, we had to reduce it. We had to reduce it by 5 Gs.
What's up?
Welcome,
Virgin-
welcome, welcome.
I
good to
see
see
Watt figured out how to not fall asleep on StreamYard. He just does his own live. Now he can't, because then what's he going to do? You know, we can't
Oh
What,
no!
what would I do? You know,
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! Bonnie's taking naps on her own lives. It can happen. You know, we just gotta back them up.
you know.
Hey,
He
Red
knows
Pill,
we got him covered.
that's hilarious.
We just can't close it.
Right. We're here forever until he wakes up.
Hey, Anthony.
I appreciate the moral support. I feel it.
Yeah, we're
Are
here.
My
they-
aura just rose another 3 points.
They just leave and leave you up there with
Oh, I think
silence.
your
An
channel's
hour and
going to be big, Watt. I'm going to make a
I'll
prediction.
just retitle it later, Sleep Stream. You know,
Right.
There you go.
we get like 10 million views just by titling it that.
Hey,
You're
Mary.
going to be big, Watt. This is going to be a big channel. You're going to grow. You're going to have hundreds of people in your chat.
Bring them on. I want to hear what they got to say, what everybody's thinking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See what they got to say. I mean, we've already got the Alien Warrior Incorporated. You know what I mean? The Intergalactic Federation's here. You know what I mean? We got the
Dude, you're
Sasquatch
telling
community.
me I've been a space cadet.
We're
since
uniting
the-
people that's never been united before. It's happening here.
Dude, I'm a qualified space cadet. All right. I've been like
You
that
are.
since like late
I'll
60s.
put you in charge of NASA when I become president,
Yep.
if you want to. You know, that's up to you.
And I'm like a secret nerd. All right. I really am.
It's not a secret, Carl.
Yeah, you just told us.
Hey,
That's just the truth.
yeah.
Let it be so.
Well, you guys just know me, all right? Most people wouldn't know my nerd powers because I don't look like a nerd.
And an undercover disco fan sometimes. Some people would
Yeah.
say.
And you can bite me, all right? George is
Some
going to lose
people
the
now.
next
I might not
sports
be one of
game,
those people.
all right? You're going to lose the next sports game. I don't even know what it is, but you're going to lose just because you said that.
Mm.
Oh, just because you said that they're going to go out and score the most points ever scored that a man's ever even seen. It's going to be unprecedented,
Let me
dude.
just make it fucking clear that disco
Trump's going to have
sucks
to
and
induce a
rock and
new
roll
mercy
is
law.
wrong.
You know, the Kimmel Carl mercy law is going to be influenced because you said that.
Is this a
Disco
wizard
sucks.
battle?
Hey, Jerry.
I don't know. It's everything and nothing all at the same time.
You're manifesting on each other.
I like it. It's happening.
Okay, well, what would
Well,
you
at least
think?
it sounds masculine, manifesting.
There you go. Maybe a
So
new
what-
thing.
With the aliens, okay, what would you really think if a being cracked out of the sky, would you think an alien, a demon, an angel? Like, what would you really think? And how would you decide to come to that conclusion? And I'm asking a very serious question. How are we supposed to know?
Oh, I know. I like it.
So,
The first thing I'm going to, I'm not even joking. The first thing I'm going to is in Jesus' name's demon, you are not welcome here. All right. If that doesn't work
Mhm.
and I feel like it's a threat, then I'm going to try lead. If it's friendly and shit and I, hear angels singing and shit, I won't be so worried about it.
Okay.
well, since I do believe that we are in a spiritual warfare also, I think that is where it's going to be. Where's your head at? Where's your soul at? Where are you because
Good to see you, Red.
the whole um
Man, you're right, Bonnie. Pick a side now. Know where you stand. Did you guys hear that weird noise? This cat
that
is smart.
everyone will be deceived. It will be presented as good. It's like I don't know. It's going to be a tough one.
Right.
I think everybody's going to be deceived.
I have a really, really hard time believing in aliens.
Believing in what?
Aliens. That
Yeah.
just has not ever hit my radar.
I have a hard
Much
time
love,
believing
Jerry.
they'd come here. I kind of believe there could be other things out there, but I have a hard time believing they'd want to come here. That's what I have a hard time believing.
Jerry, we can see you. I don't know what's going on. I've heard that YouTube chats have been weird as far as messages showing up. Like I sent a few before I came up on panel and I don't see them. So
You guys
Jerry,
probably didn't hear that noise, but this cat is crazy smart. It was just over there. It started tapping at its empty water bowl to get me to give it water.
Tighten up.
cats are connected to the spirit realm. They're very smart. They're not everyone's flavor, but cats are very in
Well,
tune.
water. It got its water. It got what it wanted. This thing's, it's impressive, man. I let this cat out. It goes, does its business, stays gone for most of the day, and comes and hangs out for a couple hours every day. It just keeps coming back. But it's free to go. And it's just a little thing, man. That thing's young. I'm impressed. It's a survivor.
Ark Wildman.
Art
wow.
Wildman.
Yes.
It's an honor to see you. I hope all is well.
You guys,
Hey,
Art
thank
Wildman was the first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube. Art Wildman.
Damn,
awesome.
you popped your cherry?
Yeah, well, I was watching a lot of things and I was trying to learn about gardening and, you know, he's really good at foraging and I love his cooking stuff. Like, and I really liked
I watch him all the time.
his spirit. Like, I could tell he was a good dude. And that kind of
Yeah.
brings us full circle to the alien question, is because they might put something in the sky that makes people question, or they might show us some video, right? Where it's like, oh, well, we have footage of number XYB or whatever, right? But like that's all deception. That's misdirection and deception. But
Yeah.
there is quite a debate about, okay, are aliens beings from other worlds, or are they demonic, or are they some kind of angel, or you know, God form? You know what I mean? Like, how
You're giving me some big time deja vu. We've been over this. You know,
we
I know. I believe there's something up there because I've seen it with my own eyes. I didn't see no little green men or no Marvin the Martian or nothing like that. But what I saw got me thinking that there is something up there. You know, it's.
I don't know. I mean,
I know nobody's going to believe me until they see it themselves. I'm good with that. I get that. I'm the same
yes,
way. That's how people
because
are.
I've seen video of supposedly what we have out of Area 51, and the spacecraft are things that we've never seen before. They're all different shapes, sizes, speeds. They can do maneuvers that we haven't seen before. So,
Well,
who
I
knows?
know, man. 'Cause like, Bonnie, I gotta say it.
But I'm
I gotta
not
tell a story
finished.
now.
I'm not finished though, hun.
I'm sorry.
And so, but then you see another video and it's saying that Area 51 is something completely different. It has nothing to do with aliens.
right.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing. Is I don't believe that everything is true. It's like when I first got on YouTube, when it first started, I was here to look for UFO videos. and I've found a lot of good ones, a lot of ones that are similar to things I've seen. But within a year or two, there was 100 fake ones for every real looking one. All right. And they have diluted the facts. All right. They have watered it down like whiskey in a cheap bar. All right. That to find a video of something convincing is work now. All right. Because you got to weed through all the bullshit. Even when a real video comes out, people fake that real one and add things to it and shit. It's ridiculous.
We live in a very uh, distilled world or diluted world in certain aspects for sure. But like B said, you know, what if they come from below? But there's always been that quote, I forget exactly how it goes, but as above, so below, as within, so without, you
Mhm.
know, however
Well,
that may be. But
in 1976, Watt, I'm sitting on the side of a lake with a buddy. It's dark. We're sitting there. We're after a full day of doing stuff. We're not high. We're not drinking. We're not impaired in any way. And this thing came out of the clouds and it stopped and then it zigzagged and it was moving pretty good, silent, like just like an orb. I can't say it was a disc or anything. It was a bright light. And, you know, it was in the clouds. So it's a good ways away. But when it took off, it went above and below cloud cover, zigzag, stopped absolutely still in the air. And when it took off, it went so fast my eyes couldn't follow it. It was gone, buddy. I mean, zip, it's out of here. And
yeah,
you know, I look at the guy and he looked at me the same way. It's like, did you see that? And we were both just, you know, completely aghast at what we saw, which is one thing. But in 1990, I think it was 92 or 93, I'm sitting on a cliff over a different lake with a buddy who just got out of the Gulf War and shit. He just got out of the military. And I'm telling him the story that I just told you when the same fucking thing happens right there in front of us. Same conditions. We were not high. We were not stoned. We were of our own, you know, and saw the
yeah,
almost identical thing again. And that motherfucker's face went white as a ghost. All right. Because I had just told him what I had seen and then we saw it again. So I find that to be too much of a coincidence to not be something spiritual. All right. Now I've seen every imaginable kind of aircraft there is. The fastest military jets there are. I've seen them track across the sky right in front of me. All right. I've been to air shows, seen all that shit. But what I saw, like I say, it would turn a man to mist. All right. Those G forces involved, that speed, ain't no
yeah, that's
way.
too
Not
many
even,
G's. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Ah,
nothing we
Even
could
for a
build
man like
could handle
us, you
that.
know, too many.
Right. There's not even a craft that wouldn't fall apart at that speed. That's the problem, man. And there are videos from space. The space stations got videos of these things in the atmosphere and shit. I don't know what the fuck they are, but they're real. I believe that.
I think it's like a combination of both. You know, sometimes uh, several things can be true at the same time. You know, it don't. Maybe the whole storyline or the whole news flash may not be true. You know, there's always fillers. There's always ways to delude things. But
Oh, believe me, B. I've wondered if I was touched some mushrooms or something, didn't know about it. You know, that shit's such wild. It's such a it messes with your head, man. Did I see what I saw? Well, he saw it. I saw it. What the fuck was that? You know, it's something that will stick with you for the rest of your life if you see it.
and regardless, I don't. Me personally, and these are just my own personal thoughts or assumptions or theoretical theories, but I don't believe any of the things that we're seeing now. I don't think any of this is new. You know what I mean? You've got so many alleged testimonies and eyewitnesses over the different decades or centuries or different parts of the world. You know what I mean? Certain structures, different things. You know, I don't think it would be something like uh, there's this big, giant, alleged alien fleet, you know, like battleship troopers coming our way. You know, if it's something going to happen, it's already here. You know, it may be waiting for a certain time, a certain season, a certain reason, a certain thing to happen. Um, I don't think whatever those entities or beings are, uh, they may not be from this world in the aspect of our spiritual world or our physical world that we see, so they could be not of this planet or not of this world, whatever that may mean,
They are certainly not subject to
you know.
our physics.
Not saying they don't dwell in this realm, but as far as some people can see, some people can only see for that physical aspect, And I still believe we're just spiritual entities or beings having a human experience. So I believe some people can and can take it to that level. Some people can see certain things. Maybe we call it a level of discernment, a level of truth, whatever it may be. There's people here
Dude,
to see
I got
certain
an open
things. We know
mind,
it.
right?
We
I've
acknowledge
seen,
certain things happening.
look, I got a real open mind about it. I've even considered they're living things or they're spirits of people because there's footage of these things in space. To me, they look like a fucking space jellyfish. I'm talking some type, like you see how a jellyfish propels itself in the
Oh yeah, if
water?
I see that up in the sky, I might not
All
hear
right.
from me for a while.
Well, it makes you fucking wonder because they're
It's
getting
like
this
the
footage
sky
from
whales. You ever seen the sky whales? Oh man.
it is. It's
See
similar
what
to
I'm
that,
saying?
man. I'd have to go and look, but there's certain shuttle missions that they have these things on tape reacting really strange with purpose. All right, items. All right, there's one thing for a satellite to track across the atmosphere, but when it changes direction and reacts to all the other ones changing direction, and it looks like one of them shoots out into space 100 times faster than the rest of them,
Yeah.
that shit, we don't know what that is. Straight up, no
No.
one knows what the fuck that
No.
is.
If
Have you
any
ever
one of
seen
us
the
did,
thing
we
that
couldn't
looked like
tell it. We couldn't tell the other person anyway. You know what I mean? To that level.
Well, 5 years ago, I brought up a discussion on prepping 101s, all right, because there was this thing where
Shout
NASA
out
recorded
101.
this massive black object went to the surface of the sun. We're talking this object would have made the Earth look like a speck, all right, and then it looked like a
Man, that big.
tornado came off of the black item and sucked energy from the sun. And when it was done, it shot off into space so fast your eyes can't follow it, like a
I think I
black
remember did
void.
seeing a story about something like that, maybe 2, 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, well, it
Maybe
was 5 years ago that I brought that up, and they played it on 101s, and it blew his fucking mind. And that, it's a mind
that was
blower.
during the whole 2020 thing. Any of those stories, even if they had weight or whatever, they kind of just got swept under the rug by what was happening.
Well, I don't know, man. There's fucking sun suckers out there in the world.
Sun suckers, man. Man? That's worse than graboids, dude. It's like space graboids.
It kind of reminded me of like a water balloon taking off, like it filled up and nobody tied a knot in it.
Well, Jerry has an interesting point. There are 7 realms of heaven. And so let's postulate that the firmament is real. And if we postulate that, then God separated the waters from the waters. Therefore, outer space is water. Octopi are arguably alien to this planet. There's even the science says that, which I don't trust the science, but still.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we look at some of the orbs and some of the things in the sky that we see in the scintillation, it kind of looks like light underwater. So, what if the firmament is sort of like comprised of what we might call like a diamond? And there are multiple levels, and they call that the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But why do astronauts train for weightlessness in water? They do. When they're training to go to space, quote unquote, they train in water. There's something about that we're missing a piece in the middle, okay? But
True.
I think the firmament is a high possibility. I think that this realm is not what anything NASA or the government or any other entity says. And when we see these things and they make movements and shapes and put off lights and whatever that don't make sense on the terrestrial plane, it does make sense in water.
Yeah, I
It
told you I
does.
was a space cadet. I've been completely like 20 feet under in a snowmobile suit, helmet and all. I've been trained.
You know, water is important. You know, it's life. There's several key times in life that you may go through or pass through water. Of course, we all pass through water to get here to be born. You know, we pass through that chamber.
Every
You know,
one of us, Watt, is
uh,
the fastest swimmer.
Hmm.
allegedly now. You know, there may be some AIs out there. We have to respect that. You know, they're
Ha.
amongst us, but are like, you know, depending on what your faith is. You know, you may get what is it, christened, or you know, you may get baptized. You know, you may pass through the water or the firmament that way. You know,
Hmm.
so there is different aspects of that, or even like the number seven. You know, the seven realms of heaven,
Yep. The seven chakras, the seven
seven
colors in the
chakras,
rainbow.
7 days of the week. You know,
Yes, the number seven is a powerful number for
it
the
is.
symbolism of it, and we are taught that all of that is hogwash. Well, at this point, whatever they say is hogwash, I'm looking to be more likely to be true.
Yeah,
You know?
you know,
Amen to
yeah.
that. Amen to that. It's just like I was saying earlier. Obama came out and said aliens are real, so now I really fucking doubt it.
Oh, he backtracked though.
So
He,
what would be the benefit for the government for this to come out at this time?
right.
Never underestimate the government using an
Um,
event to its own advantage.
it's kind of already kind of been set in motion, you know, for a long time. But a lot of things that we almost kind of sometimes we think it's things kind of happening overnight, but it's things that's already been set. You know, a lot of your biggest news flashes, you know, a lot of them have already been set to happen. You know, but dang, I lost my train of thought.
That's because the train went by.
That's what it was. It drew my energy. I felt the shift. I forgot what the heck we was talking about.
This is known as the early stages of your live streams. This is when it's pure and there's not very many trolls that are assholes around and just the good people that love you find you. This is like the golden part of your live
I
streams.
encourage
Remember
the
this.
trolls. Even sometimes they bring
It's
insight. You
coming.
know,
Right.
It's coming. Just give it time. But this is,
dang, I
the
forgot my
early
whole train of
stages.
thought.
I
Well,
like
we
the
were
early
talking
stages.
about the number seven, water, chakras, rainbows,
Oh
7
yeah,
days,
it's interesting. Yeah, it's just and it's
seven
funny you
seals.
mentioned that because the other day I just watched this video. I wish I could remember exactly how he worded it, but yeah, he was going through a little breakdown about that type of stuff. You
Hmm.
know, I don't know, or even another reference that I could think of. I'm pretty sure most people here have seen the movie or have heard about it, The Truman Show.
Hmm.
You know, you could kind of look at it that from many different views, but it could also be looked as like a biblical. Or I mean, it could even be looked at as you can go deep into the Masonic realm if you want to do different, you know, symbols and stuff like that. Like when it begin to, I guess, really break off into the movie. I guess not really a climax, but a big part is when he's walking in that satellite fell, which was a light. You know, the light fell, and I think it was on it. It was like it says Sirius or something like that. You
Hmm.
know, or certain little things are not really a spoiler alert, but spoiler alert, like at the end, you know, when he has to cross the water and go through the storm, you know, he had to cross the water to get to the other side. Then when he got to the other side, boop, 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 he had to go up 33 steps, you know,
Right.
to reach his enlightenment or, you know, whatever that may be, you know.
Right. And that's why I was asking earlier, what do we really believe? If they present something to us, whether in the sky or it being right in front of you, um, what is
It would
your
depend. I think everybody would be different, you know, to whatever level of reality we accept or we're at in our life, you know. I think, of course, for me personally, if I just see some stuff and there's no like destruction, you know, like boom, 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 then okay, I can come with a little bit more, you know, clear, rational point of view. But if it's like, you know, see some stuff, look, lasers, stuff starts coming down, I see stuff destruction, and that's a different state of mind, you know.
Mhm.
You start hearing things like act.
ack, 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 ack.
Anyway, either way, I don't have to go into work that day. You know, that's a good way. But yeah, it just depends on how it comes. You know, or if it's a full on like alien visual, like they've depicted the aliens, you know, not even going into a spiritual aspect, or if it is like a spiritual, you know, like a second coming or like a rapture type situation, you know. I do think about those type of things, you know.
Okay, so another question. If, let's say, a being cracked through the sky one way or another, whether in a ship or materialized out of another dimension, would any of you assume they were evil demons immediately, or do we take a second and figure it out? And like, because a lot of people believe any alien is going to be a demon, which could be true, right?
Could
But
be
like,
good, yeah. Either
right,
or.
either or. So would you
Just
immediately
how it depends
swap
on how it appeared visually, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
but
you could always have a wolf in sheep's clothing, you know,
that's
but
how it will come.
it's
It will look
hard, you know. It's hard to judge a book by its cover, but ultimately that's all you have until you've read it or seen it, you know.
yeah, yeah. That's what the trick is. And I think that's where all of us have to go with the still small voice, the spirit.
Thought that they were angels, but much to my surprise, I climbed aboard their starship and headed for the skies. I said, come sail away.
Come sail away. Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I think that's where the trickery will come in, is that a
Yeah.
lot of people with good intentions will think it's an angel of God or Jesus or whatever, a religious person that they believe in. And
Oh, no
of
doubt.
course they're going to come and look like wonderful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're,
Like, yep.
that in and of itself is where the discernment comes in.
Yeah, the whole breakdown of
I
different
hope
groups
so,
and their
man.
interpretations or what they feel is happening at the moment, you know?
Yep.
I hope my discernment doesn't fail me. I seem to make a lot of bad choices, so I'm just going to run with they're bad until I know better.
Bad
Right.
choices ultimately lead us to making better choices, wiser choices, you know? Ultimately.
True. Wisdom comes from exercising the muscle.
There you go. We
Mhm.
encourage exercising the
I
muscles here.
understand. I absolutely understand why they end up with really long hair just sitting on the top of the hill wanting everybody to leave them the fuck alone.
Yeah.
There you go. I encourage that, whoever they are.
It's
But
the fool on the hill, you know.
Well, I think that with the timing and everything that's going on, I don't, if it did happen, would it actually be a peaceful transition in?
Mhm.
It seems that because we've seen artifacts from way back with the alien look-alike drawings. So it seems that if this has been going on for thousands of years, and right now, for whatever reason, they decide to make an appearance, I'm not really sure that it would be a peaceful appearance.
Mm.
And what's about the timing, folks? Isn't this all this shit kind of weird timing? I
what would
swear
you
that
think?
anything.
What would you say that in the current state we're in right now would play the most interesting part as far as the timing, you know? If you could
Well,
even
it's like this. Every time I
say,
notice like something like the Epstein files comes out, what we have war somewhere, or somebody, you know, like Korea is gonna start getting, you know, mouthy, or Iran's gonna get mouthy, or you know, now we got Mexico going up. It's just it's I don't know if the world's just like getting worse and we're working up to this, you know, moment, or it's like, okay, let's release aliens. It's time for the aliens because the
yep,
list is out. Let's distract them with aliens.
Right. That's the
yeah,
order out of the chaos. that even though an alien disclosure would cause chaos, it would disrupt every religion, it would disrupt the economy, it would disrupt people's minds a lot. Ironically, that's their answer to the order. You know, it goes along with the deception.
Yeah.
Well,
You would have
and
to bring
war,
order to the chaos.
Yep.
War has always been a great distractor. All right, you can have the country in turmoil and all this, division and whatever's going on, and then all of a sudden we're at war. It's all business. Forget about your local problems. You get with the system because we're all fighting the war now.
That's what the focus is on. Yeah.
Yes. And every single lie we've been told for millennia is to separate us from God. Every lie. And so when they do something like that on the plane here, right? It's a primal response. Oh, we're going to war. Then you respond as a human entity. It's primal survival kicks in all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You are
Fight or
disconnected
flight.
from
Yeah.
the spiritual. That's the whole goal of everything that whoever is bad around us, their whole goal is to disconnect us from God, period.
Boy, I believe that because, I feel like I really do feel that I'm going to stay connected to my creator above all. I talk to Jesus constantly all day long. He's probably tired of my shit. I'm just going to stay on the side I believe is the right place to be.
That's all we can do,
Yeah.
I know there's a reference. I don't know the exact chapter, verse, or reference in the Bible, but I think there's a reference to where that, like, this world or this realm, is like, Satan's to a degree. And, I believe that there's certain things that we see and we encounter different entities. They can't leave this realm, I believe we have we we have a power to leave this realm, whatever this realm may be. Depending on your religion, most religions think there's something else. Whatever religion that be. Christianity, um, all the different religions. They believe there's something else. So, but there's also certain entities that can't leave this realm. Once whatever happens, the rapture, the second coming, whatever it may be, whatever that happens naturally to the system, those entities, they can't leave this realm. So they're going to do their best to humiliate us, bring us down, present anything they can to keep us from not leaving this realm with them.
It's a
Yeah.
That's
trap.
kind of like my opinion on a certain things.
Oh,
That's
man, we're right back to the same thing.
thing.
Every time I think about that, sorry, Bonnie, your microphone, or it might be just me, it sounds a little
Check,
funny.
mic check.
I'm not hearing when Bonnie starts talking until she's already talking. That's all. I'm sorry.
I yield.
Well, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Dang it, Bonnie.
Darn it.
I apologize. I'm trying not to be a dick. We were talking about the Bible the other night. That's what I see. The Bible's trying to tell you, man, is don't be a dick. We covered that. It's don't do things that hurts others. That's all I don't. That's my goal, man. Is not to help others and not hurt others.
No loss, injury, or harm.
That's what I was going to say. That it has seemed to be the goal to separate us from our souls.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I still got mine. I'm convinced I still have mine, and I'm
We
gonna keep.
definitely still have our souls.
I think if
And-
you have the ability to, yeah, you would know. I think at some point you would know.
Oh yeah,
I ain't trading it
Because-
for nothing.
that's your whole core, your whole spiritual existence is your soul.
I just try to, I don't know, whatever it may be, started out at level 1. If it's 7 levels, 7 different things, whatever it may be, I'm just trying to do my best to level up past that. I don't know, maybe an animalistic way of thinking, If you ever think about it, I remember I know y'all seen it. You know, I'm not telling you nothing new, but anyway, you watch the cartoons as a kid, and they always have the devil's little cartoon on one side with the horns and the angel figure on the other side. You know, kind of showing. It's almost kind of that way of mindset. You know, the
Wait a
devil's
minute.
featured
Wait a
with the
minute. Wait a
horns.
minute.
Is
Wow.
featured with that
What do you mean?
bestiality or
What are you
animal
trying to
way
tell
of
me? You
thinking.
don't have that in real life?
Do it now.
You're trying to tell me you don't have that in real life?
I'm getting there. You know, I'm making a short story long. I get to do that here. It's one of the privileges. I don't get many, but I do get to do that here. But it's almost like that a way of thinking. You know, you think of the horns like the goat. You know, the animalistic way of thinking, and the angels featured with the wings. You know, an elevated way of thinking. You know, a clearer way of thinking, more rational, good, virtuous, whatever you want to put on that. You know, I always thought in that type of way. You know, if
Oh,
that
I
even
love
makes
what
any
you're
sense.
saying. No, it makes total sense to me. I love what you're saying. All right. I've talked about this. Imagine if you didn't have those thoughts. Like, imagine if there are people walking around this earth that don't have independent thoughts like that. They don't have those voices in their head telling them not to touch the electric wire. All right. They just go ahead and touch it. All right. Because nobody told them not to. All right. Like, no creativity, no empathy, just like empty vessels that have to
We don't
copy
have to
everything
imagine
else
that.
or be led by somebody else. They have to be told what to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't even think you have to imagine that in some instances. You know.
Nope.
I try to be
Yeah.
optimistic at times, but ultimately I try to be realistic at times, you know. Um,
Yeah. I love my
you know,
conscience. I love my
I don't never want to say someone's completely lost, you know what I mean? Because at some point in our life, somebody called us lost, down and out. You know, we didn't have a chance, no shot, no call, bad news bears, but here we are, you know what I mean? So I don't want to never say nobody is completely lost, you know, but to a certain degree, it could be a
What
path for
about a
sure.
frontal lobotomy? What if somebody was given a frontal lobotomy? Are they lost?
People
So
do
y'all,
that now in a way.
y'all don't think that people are born with common sense, that it
Not
has
all
to
of
be taught? I
I don't
mean,
know.
if
I
you're
feel
going up
the
to
person.
something and it keeps getting warmer, that's a pretty good indication that it's going to be hot if you touch it.
You think?
Some things are learned that way. Some things are taught, you know. Um, you know, common sense, it may just, you know, it just depends on where you're at. Different things, you know, things are common in different areas, you know. I don't know. I would hope that common sense is still a thing, but I still see reminders that it's not. But then I see reminders that it is, you know. So I try to find that balance in between. I try to put myself in positions or in places where I have to contend it less. You know, I'm still going to have to contend everything the world's got to throw at me. But that's the one thing about it. I get to choose where my anchor sets, regardless.
I think the way we treat others is taught, but I think that it's within each individual whether they have compassion, empathy, love. It it is.
Yeah.
I
I
just made a new
think
quote
those
about
things
that.
are taught.
I
well,
just
they
made up
say
a new
that
quote about that, Bonnie, not long ago. A few days ago, I thought of this. People can fake empathy, but they'll never feel it.
Right. And there was something that you said a while ago. Um, I think it was when we were talking about discernment, and um, sorry to say it, but from what I've seen, most women have intuition more so than men do.
Like a spidey sense. That's what my mama had.
Yes. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying maybe it comes from being a mother, maybe um I don't
Maybe
know.
because she had to protect the children, you know, something like that. It could
Right.
be something basic and simple.
You're your creeper sensors go off, or your um, danger. I don't know. It's like,
The motherly instincts kicked in, you know. Ultimately, it takes two to have that child, but no matter where you shake it or how you look at it, the woman's got to carry the child inside her for 9 months. So, you know, there's that connection that's bonded there and made there that can never be broken, you know, whether they have a physical relationship or not, you know, it's there.
I mean, I got a ton of respect for women because I'll tell you straight up, if something was going to rip out of my crotch, just kill me. I don't want to even be alive
I
for that
know I
shit.
hate myself after overeating at the buffet, dude.
I'm out. I'm done with this. That's where I draw the line. I'm glad
That's
I'm
what I
not a
tell
woman.
myself. I am not going to eat this much ever again, and then I do it again.
Mom, I just thought my mom was mean. I'll be honest. Most of my life, I just thought my mom was just mean. No, I understand now. I do. I understand. She was cold to people that she didn't trust. She had a bad feeling about them or something, and she was right to feel that way. Like
yes.
every time, you know. I've
And
had
she was
a
being
buddy of mine. I
protective
thought
of
he was my. Oh, I had a buddy of mine. I thought he was like my best friend, you know, and he thought my mom was at work one day. She had a day off and just walked into our house. I was in the basement doing something. And the next thing you know, I'm hearing my mom call me upstairs, and she's got this guy by gunpoint in the kitchen. Right. And it's like, no, I know him, Ma. It's all right. Don't shoot him.
Be right
You
back. Y'all
know,
play nice.
okay.
she had good instincts.
What was he
'Cause I
doing?
got, well, he wasn't doing nothing at the time, but he turned out to be a real piece of shit. She
Hmm.
knew it before I did.
And that's, I know. I feel bad when I feel that way about any of my kids' friends. Um, there's a couple of them that have friends right now that I'm like, and those friends know because I give them the look when I see them, and they're all, oh, it's so good to see you. And I know it's not. And I'm just sitting there looking at them like, mm-hmm. I know that you are just using my child for your gain. And I don't
Man, I'm so glad I didn't have a daughter. I killed somebody.
I don't say it out loud, but they know I know. And but it's real hard to just let your kids find out on their own because they'll never believe you. If you tell them your friend's a piece of crap, they're using
I didn't
you.
believe anybody back then, Bonnie. I
Wrong.
thought I knew it all when I was young. I didn't heed any warning.
And Carl, it doesn't go away. If look, since I've been doing this with YouTube, my kids have thought I was totally crazy. But once they sat down and started listening, they changed their mind.
I was there when they started getting active and visiting
Yes,
with it.
my daughter and granddaughter were on some of the really older lives, giving Shane heck.
I subbed to her. I was subbed to her. Still subbed to her.
And then that was the other daughter when she moved back in with me, and she would just sit and listen. And she was like, now I see why you do this. And I said, yes, these are good people. The majority are truly good people.
Yeah, just
The
like
majority.
anywhere. But like Bonnie, when you said that you knew someone was bad and you could tell they knew you knew,
Yes.
that's a thing, dude. And anyone listening right now,
Yeah.
trust that. Believe that. That is your inspiration to know. Or at least put yourself on guard to observe further, because I have found that to be true 90+% of the time. And in person is little bit easier to detect than YouTube or the internet streets. But
Yes.
trust it.
Definitely.
I'm really good at assessing threats. Working at bars and being a doorman, all that stuff. I can tell if somebody's armed. I can tell their intentions. I can read that shit really good. Where my trouble always lied is the pretty faces. Those are the damn ones that get under my armor. I fall for the pretty faces. That's my.
Well, at least you have a standard. It's good to have standards. I don't fault you for that.
What's going on, Pilgrim?
Hey, Pilgrim.
But yeah, I mean, we all have different fences or put up different fences in our life. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They say someone once said, "Good fences make good neighbors." It's not so much to put
Yeah.
limitations on ourselves. It's just to limit what we put in. It could be a physical fence. It could be a mental fence. A spiritual fence, whatever it may be, armor, shield, whatever you want to call it.
Your bubble.
Yeah, it still keeps our distance for whatever entities, demonic spirits, whatever is trying to do us harm.
Yes. That's the way I look at it, is a bubble, and it's totally up to you what you let inside that bubble. And
Right.
For some reason, all I can think of is John Travolta right now.
Oh, that's
See what I'm
scary.
saying? I knew it.
That's the biggest thing I've ever heard.
There you go. Keep talking. We mentioned John Travolta. We got 5 new viewers. Keep it going.
Are
They're
you
This
loving
is
what you're putting down.
before your time, Watt. It was called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble from like right around 1975, 76, something like that.
No, never mind. I just lost 3 subs. Never mind. Can it? Nah, I know the John Travolta. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I know what you're talking about. It was weird. I was just watching something today, and it was a commercial with him in it. And I said, "Man, what is? I mean, is it good that he's doing commercials, or is he doing that bad where he's got to do these commercials? If you've been doing movies all that life, just sit back and chill."
It's AI.
Have you seen John Travolta's
Gotta be.
house? He's got jumbo jets pulled up to his deck. All right, he can walk right out
Oh,
on his
yeah.
deck. of his
He's a
house and
jumbo
get into the
jetter.
jumbo jet.
Yeah.
Now,
I wouldn't take it to that level. You know what I mean? I might have me a jet, but I don't think I'd take it to that level. I
Oh
can't
no,
say.
he's got like 3 of them. He's got like 3 of them parked right up against his
Oh,
house.
you ain't out doing John Travolta. Yeah, you ain't out strutting him. I don't care what your gay game looks like.
You're not out dancing that guy.
No, you ain't out dancing him, no matter what he
Is he
identifies
still
as
staying
or
alive?
what his preference may be. That's him.
Is he still staying alive?
He's grease lightning. You can't take that from a man once you're grease lightning. It's like being nicknamed the Wild Man. That just sticks with you.
It's wild, man.
It's
Wild.
electrifying.
I met Wild Man the other day officially. There was what's the day? Monday. Went to this guy. It was what's his name? I don't want to misquote it. It was Trevor. Trevor got. I forget how to pronounce it, but anyway, it was from Canada. Trevor Giles. I think it was spelled Gillies. Trevor, however you pronounce that. But he was born in Canada. He played in the semi-pros. He played professionally in the pros, and it was pretty cool. He even played for the Augusta Lynx, which was a local semi-pro hockey team here in Augusta, Georgia, where I live. But that was pretty cool. He was telling me all about his hockeys and stuff, and I looked him up. But yeah, that was pretty cool. What's that?
Welcome back. Remember Welcome Back, Cotter? John Travolta.
Welcome
I
back,
do.
Potter.
I do feel like that sometimes, Like, was I really going or was I really here? But it's just welcome back. But yeah, that dude was pretty cool.
He's an alien.
Made action figures. Did you guys know that they actually had Welcome Back Cotter action figures?
No doubt.
I can believe that. I can see that in this timeline. All right. So if anybody, if there was any celebrity or singer that's like currently living, who would you say that celebrity would be the one to come out and say, "I'm an alien," and you wouldn't be surprised?
Oh.
Who would that be? If I don't know if Clint Eastwood just came out tomorrow on live TV, pulled off the mask, and he was really an alien. Who would that person be?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Because there's some people that look like aliens, whatever that may be. Now, whether they're just, I don't know.
Steve Buscemi, all day.
I don't know who that is right off, but yeah, I would vote for that. Oh, that's the guy from
Con Air.
Con Air, Armageddon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're making me
That's
think.
funny you said that.
Yeah.
The other day, I seen a meme, and it showed a picture of him when he was young, and it had a picture of Angelina Jolie when she was young, and it said something about when the timelines converged and these two people looked exactly alike. And it was weird because they almost looked like they could be brother or sister at those ages. It was funny. Anyway.
Right.
I got to tell you what, it's already happened. There was a movie in the 80s called Earth Girls Are Easy with Gina, whatever her name was, but it had Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, and
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Goldthwait, is that how you say his name? And they were all aliens that crashed in Gina Davis's swimming pool. You seen that movie? Because
yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
Aliens, I think of Jim Carrey just because of that movie.
Yeah, I could see putting Jim Carrey on that list. He could be Interstellar for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
What about?
And just for the record, Gina Davis was smoking hot in that movie.
That's a man, Maury. Number 2. The shorter list is who isn't. Can you
exactly?
Name
yeah. Who wouldn't be an alien?
Who is not either an alien or a demonic structure? Tell me one. Public.
We should get like breathalyzer things so we can check them. Make them take like a test.
No,
what about?
I'm dead ass serious.
Public figures.
Who?
Are you asking about public figures?
Yeah, like a celebrity, a politician, anyone, even like YouTube channels that have tens of thousands of subs, millions of subs. Can you name someone that all of us would recognize their name? A known name that is not.
Well, I think Rowdy Piper was okay. I mean, where can we get some of those glasses?
R.I.P. Rowdy. I got to see him in person one time.
I got to meet him too.
All right.
That's weird. There's 2 guys here on this panel that have met Roddy Piper. This is meant to be. Why?
It happened, and I was a teenager. I won tickets to go see wrestling, one of the Saturday small town showcases, and it was right towards his end of his stint with W. Anyway, yeah, it happened.
But did you have the special
I met him in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Did I do what?
Did you have the special glasses? Did you really see him, or did you?
Oh, I do wear my sunglasses at night just so I can see clear.
I think we need those glasses, man. I'm just thinking maybe we ought to start, messing with that.
Probably he looked my way. He acknowledged, there was a moment of acknowledgement.
Anybody, but I'm dead ass. Anybody have a public figure?
Think of anyone.
Maybe everybody's suspect now.
Ted Nugent ain't no fucking alien. Ted Nugent is the most down-to-earth celebrity I know of.
Carl?
I don't have enough information to confirm that.
He is in the club, Carl. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, my friend.
Yeah. No, he's been Mr. Fuck the Club for the whole time I've been alive. I've been seeing the club trying to screw him over. I don't buy that.
There's a lot of people who say fuck the government who are still not good people.
Oh, it's not the government he told to fuck. He told everybody to go fuck themselves because they were all trying to demonize him for decades. He was decades before like anybody, man. They went after him a long time ago.
Carl, he's in the club.
I have heard
he eats animals. Oh, he doesn't eat anything processed.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, Carl. He's in
like I said, man, I trust him. He's the only one I trust.
Well, God bless you.
I have heard that Kid Rock is actually down to earth, normal, but he's still in the club. I feel He's
Okay,
been in
man,
the
I'm
Oval
trusting.
Office. I just
Once you sell your soul, you can't buy it back. And at some
exactly.
point, they've all sold it.
I don't think Ted sold anything, man. He's even
Barry,
been like
he is absolutely
anti-drug, anti-alcohol. He's been like this ever since I was young. I
okay.
believe in that dude.
Well, that's
This
I
isn't
think there would be like a level of agreement or understanding, whether it would be, I don't know, contractually or how they visualize it or tell it in a movie. You know, sign it with the drop of your blood or whatever it may be. I think there would be some type of acknowledgement. I don't just think you go from 60 to 0 just like that. You know.
He will literally tell you that he has kept his soul. He has not made no deal, and that they've tried. He's been screwed over so many times, and he just keeps going. You know,
that
that's what I
doesn't
mean.
mean he's
I
not in
do
the
know
club.
enough about him that I wouldn't even make these statements if I didn't know as much as I do.
I'm gonna
Well,
do a
I
deep
know
dive.
enough about him that I can make the statement that he's in the fucking club.
Well, there is an entire regiment of people
Mhm.
trying to push that agenda against him, Virginia. I
Barry,
recognize that.
you
I
gotta
do.
really
I
look at his
recognize that he has
behavior.
been
No,
demonized since the 70s.
nah. The only thing I'm worried about right now is you breaking out into song. Like I don't even want to talk about Ted Nugent. One day you will see it, you will know. He is in the club, okay? He is.
God, I
They
hope I
all are.
finally get to meet
If
him. I
they're a
stood
Who would
household
be
name, they're in the club.
who would be Ted Nugent's arch nemesis in this timeline? Like if Ted Nugent had an arch nemesis, who would
Go
it be?
watch the Piers Morgan Ted Nugent interview. That was great.
Okay. But once you sell your soul, you can't buy it back. And he sold his in the 70s.
I don't
true.
think so.
Yes, he
I
did.
don't think so.
Okay. Well, that is your discernment,
He
sir.
actually started in the 60s. He was like 14 years old when they did Take a Ride to the Land Inside,
And
and
he
you'll
also
see.
had a penchant for 14-year-olds. Listen to my words, Carl.
I do. I know, man, but I know the guy's got a
But
good
then
heart
why
and
does he get the
empathy
excuse? Why is there an excuse?
because I watched him through the 70s and programs where he helped, like
Because
with the
he's
Big Brother
reformed.
program, and how
Once
he's
you sell it,
involved
you
in the
can't buy it
community,
back. Period.
and his perseverance for the protection of nature.
He's
and
protecting himself. If you want me to believe any of them, any household name gives a damn about any of us, I got some waterfront property in New Mexico for you.
that's
Allegedly, that could become a thing in the
to
next
have that
decade. So
opinion.
be careful. I
And
may
I'm
take
not
you
gonna
up on that
knock you.
offer.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to knock you for your opinion. I mean, I'm not. That's fine to believe that. But I'm still going to believe what I believe because I've had that's the one person I tried to think of, like somebody that would serve as a good role model. And there ain't many. And Ted's at the top of that list just because of his youth, involvement in youth programs, helping, wayward youth. He literally did that. I saw the evidence myself. Plus, he has, if he, people say Ted Nugent for president, no, he needs to be in control of like the Department of Natural Resources or something, because that's where his expertise lies. He grew up an outdoorsman, and that's what I actually appreciate that almost as much as his Birdland guitar.
There are people in the club that have valuable insights, information, wisdom, all of that, okay? But it doesn't mean they're not in the club. And he is.
Well,
There are no idols, Carl. There are no household names that we should idolize, let alone non-household names. But that this is part of the deception. He might have stood for things that resonate with you, but that doesn't mean that he's not part of it in other ways that don't resonate with you.
Well,
I think he's absolutely against evil. That's why it'd be hard for me to swallow that pill.
I will admit that I do have 3 current active lifetime memberships to 3 different country clubs. I will just say that. You can do with it as you will.
Do they
am an
accommodate
outstanding
the
member.
big and tall? Do they accommodate the big and tall?
Everything, all accommodated.
I've never got to meet Ted Nugent, but I stood right next to him once at a party store. I walked in, I saw somebody at the counter, I went and got my shit, went to pay for my stuff, and as the person walked away, the clerk said, "You know who that was?" And I looked at him just in time to see him going out the door and getting into his, Bronco and flying off. I was mad, man. I was that close to meeting that guy.
Damn. Well, shit, at his current rate, you still got some decades left.
Well, he talks to me when I make comments on his platform, a couple platforms. Whenever I make comments, he actually answers me. I've been doing it for years and years. I'll mention things that I know that not everybody would know. One time I mentioned how I was at one of the concerts, a New Year's Eve party, and I seen from the middle of the main floor a pair of full-size binoculars fly over the crowd and hit his strumming hand right on the guitar. All right.
Mm.
I mean, a full size and from a long ways. That fucking had to hurt, right? And it
Oh,
made
yeah.
a noise, and he stopped, and he stepped out to the end of the stage, and he pointed at the direction that those binoculars came from. And from my perspective, it looked like the crowd ate the guy, because it was like the crowd converged and the dude disappeared. And that was the end. He kept playing, went back to playing. And I mentioned that in chats. And shit like that. I've seen several things like that. And it's like, I know he knows I was there. You can see me in the YouTube videos. There's videos of that shit. And I'm always in the same place, right in front of his amp, main floor, first row. And as a big guy, Watt, what it takes to hold that ground. All right. I always held that ground.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times it could be the mentality, hell, just go after the bigger guy. Maybe all the rest of the smaller ones around him will back off.
I'd like to find this blonde. I mean, we're talking Olivia Newton-John looking blonde. Come up and during a concert, you can't hear a fucking word. And I think the crowd was about crushing her, so she just climbed up onto my back and sat on my shoulders for probably an hour watching it, front row, main floor. And then
Happens.
when she got down, she disappeared, man. The crowd will push you away. And I had a technique. Instead of like trying to fight the crowd and stuff, I just hold my hands together and put both my elbows out and hold them there. That way, anybody that pushed up against me was getting pushed into my elbows, and they would help push the crowd away.
Yeah.
Amen, Jerry.
That's the last Tuesday of the month. Last Wednesday of the month. It's a short month. It'll give us a lot to work with in February. Only get 28 options if you're lucky.
I don't put Ted Nugent on no fucking pedestal, and I don't worship him as no idol. But I'd sure like to think he is a good person.
Yeah. There's people that I looked up for whatever their craft, whatever their ability. I like to just hope and think that they would do the right thing even when nobody's looking, Whether they uphold that, ultimately that's up to them to contend with.
The most unattractive thing about Ted Nugent and Donald Trump, in my eyes, is their egos. I'll admit that. I find egos to be a very unattractive trait in anyone.
Ego my Lego.
Yeah,
Well, now you're showing your age.
that's a hard one to listen to, is a person with a huge ego.
Mm-hmm. Or, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's unattractive all the way around.
Yep. Well, that's there's no humbleness, humility, a lot of times not even accountability.
Don't want to be part of that club neither, Mary. Really don't. Why
Yeah.
I live the way I do.
I think it comes down to idolatry as well, and we should not idolize any of them.
No, I
One
agree.
way or another, you'll be led astray, even if it's in your own mind, that it takes away your connection to idolize. And everything that we see coming out right now, very publicly, my favorite part is that the stars are falling. That they now,
Mhm.
some people don't care. They're just like, whatever, we're surrounded by soulless people, believe it or not. That's one of the hardest pills to swallow, is how many soulless people are around us. But the stars falling is wonderful to see, that the emperor has no clothes, like that story, they're all of their robes are falling off and we can see them for who they are. And it,
True
like I
color.
said, pretty much all of them.
Yep.
And that's a tough thing to reconcile in our minds. And I think one thing that humans, we enjoy being entertained. We like music, we like movies. Nice pussy, Carl. We like to be comforted with song and worship and all of that stuff, right? And that's exactly where they're going to infiltrate, because we, being sort of naive in the grand scheme of spiritual worlds, will follow and find comfort in that and allow them to think for us or sing for us or write the words for us or the history for us, whatever it is, right? Or tell us what to do and how to do it, and why you should do that. And uh, the idolatry is, I don't know, with the seven sins, going back to the number seven, there are the seven deadly sins, but there's way more than that in the Bible itself. Over 100, I think, of deadly sins. um, and idolatry, some people say, well, the worst one is pride, or the worst one is coveting, or the worst one is whatever, right? But idolatry, I would think, is way up there, because that is putting these stars and idols above God,
Thou
right?
shalt not bear, or thou shalt not have any God before me, and thou shalt not worship false idols.
Right.
Those are the Ten Commandments, but the seven deadly sins, they might not be all on. It's a version of it in the Ten Commandments. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's sloth and envy and gluttony.
you're right.
What's the
I
other one?
conflated it.
Pride.
You're right. Yes,
Um,
I did conflate it. You're right. But the end game of my point is the same, though. The detriment to the spirit.
yeah. Try not to do any of all that.
Right. But at the same time, then, you know, I think it's a good thing to enjoy music and entertainment and movies and, playing a game, a board game, and you can find evil in anything. If you look hard enough, you can find anything in anything. In fact, Watt said, as within, so without, because we were talking about as above, so below, and Watt added to that, as within, so without. That is absolutely true. So circling back, Saki, to like aliens, what are you going to see? Is it an alien or a demon? Is it an angel or not, right? It's going to reflect what is inside of you already. That's the whole thing with psychedelic drugs. Not that I've ever taken any government, I've never taken LSD, but the only thing it does is bring out what's already inside of you.
Yeah.
So who say, you know, they have bad trips or they see something evil, that's because it unlocked it, it brought that out. Shamans use certain
You know, if
herbs.
that's the case, Virginia, I don't think the world can handle your mind being any more open than it is. I mean, I think you need to stay away from that stuff. You don't need any of it.
Well,
Oh shit! We could always dig a little deeper, no matter which topic or subject or who we may be, you know.
yeah.
But it's good to think and talk about these type of things, you know. I think.
Well, it comes from within, like Watt said, as within, so without. So if something cracks through the sky, there's a whole population of people that's going to believe it's the Galactic Federation coming to save us. There's another group of people that it's going to believe it's a biblical prophecy. There's another group of people that's going to believe that it's like technology from our own government. There's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's going to be multiple. It's what's within you. It's the confirmation bias is what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
My
You know,
question:
I'm so
how do we?
glad I am who I am because I don't usually think like anyone else. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Carl, you're full of shit. You are worried about it, or you wouldn't be sitting here
I'm
talking.
really not. I'm looking forward to the next thing. You know, I'm ready to wade right in. I ain't even kidding. Let's go. Whatever it be, I'm gonna find
Right.
out.
Ride the waves. I feel you there.
I've got, I'm spiritual. You know, I believe in Jesus, but I also believe in something else, and you're kind of touching on it. You know, positive and negative forces. All right.
Mhm.
And I've spoke about this before, and Watt of all people should probably understand where I'm going with this, being an electrician and all. Our bodies are controlled by electronic, tiny little synapses, electronic signals that run through our body. And it is our thought processes and it's our control. And the world works much in the same way. If you look at it on the microscopic level, electrons and everything and how they react, and I believe strongly that, those two forces, the positive and negative, don't mix well. You ask what you touch a positive to a negative and see what happens. There's going to be sparks, right? And
But you need
it's
both.
I
That's
know
what
I
balance
know
is.
that you have to have balance. I know I'm getting there. All right, yin and yang and all that stuff. I'm aware of it, but it's also I have to regulate this. All right, I cannot be exposed to a negative force for too long. It starts to wear on me. It saps my energy, and it's I take this all the way to a spiritual level. I really feel that it's absolutely necessary for me to go out of this world on a positive note. I have to have some type of assurance in my own mind that I've done everything I could right, and that things are going to be all right, and and that's where I'm sticking with it, because it's like negative motherfuckers in my life. I can't handle them around me too much. All right, and I've learned this the hard way. It it's like it saps my energy. I don't know how else to put it. It it ruins the creativity that I have inside of me. It takes away my normal day. So I avoid it the best I can. Although I know I can't completely avoid it, because I've even tried going out into the middle of nowhere for years at a time to stay away from negativity. It'll fucking find you in one way or another. But I'm aware of it, and I want to, I just think there's a connection. I think spirits and souls and electricity are all somehow connected, to be honest.
Well, they are. And the key is connecting with your own. You can't find it outside. You can't find it in another person or a celebrity or a religious figure even or whatever. You know what I mean? It comes
I
from
do know
within.
what you mean. I
You,
spent
you
many years alone learning that. You know,
right.
I know everything you just said as absolute fact. You have to
Amir,
know
evening,
yourself.
sir.
You know, you have to know yourself, and you have to love yourself to be able to love others. You know, you have to
Right.
learn that stuff on your own.
It's hard to reflect what you don't know yourself, you know. You can
Hmm.
reflect it to a certain degree, but it can be distorted, you know, just like a mirror, you know, like a fun house of mirrors, you know. If you can't see it clearly, it's always going to be distorted, you know.
Right. The fun house, that's a good analogy, where
It
they're
is,
bent or they're warped to a certain
you know.
degree, to a
You're
certain,
seeing what you believe to be true, but you're not seeing it from a clear perspective, whatever that may be. Any one
yeah.
of the emotions or anything, even spiritually or physically, you know, it works better during a clear state of mind. You know, it's bad to make long term decisions on short term emotions. You know,
Say when I'm your.
but different levels of love. You know, you could you could have a partner that you're in love with, but you could have a friend that you have love for. You know, you could have a child. That's an entirely different level of love. You know.
Hmm.
Well, I had an epiphany about that, man. All right, because
I love
listen,
everybody here, whether you love me
yeah,
or
I
not.
love everyone. It doesn't mean I like them, what? But I can love everyone, and some of them you gotta love from a long fucking ways away,
Love and
right?
Yeah,
appreciate
you
their
gotta love
existence.
from a distance sometimes.
I never even used to be able to say that until this community. All right, here's a little confession for y'all. I did not grow up telling my mom I loved her. I did not grow up hearing people in my family hear them tell me that they love me because I didn't want to hear it for one, and it wasn't just something we did. And the only people I've ever told in my life were gals I was with that I loved them. And I had a problem with that, especially if some dude said, "Yeah, dude, I love you." I'd be like, thanks. You know, you know what? Yeah, I didn't know how to take that shit. But this
Yeah,
community, all right,
you
and
did go through the 70s.
Mm.
well, I attribute this. It's a good thing. I can tell every one of you I love you now and mean it, all right, and it doesn't affect me the same way it used to, right? It's like that's one thing that I attribute to this community that you've given me was the ability to openly love somebody, to say that I actually love someone, you know?
uh, Being that we're on the internet, it's more like I love who you are on the internet.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, to that degree,
Whatever,
you
Miss
know.
Virginia Rich. I'm exactly the fucking same in person. Ain't no different. And I've had plenty of people prove that. All right. I am what I am. Not changeable.
Uh,
Like I love mustard, but I'm not in love with mustard. Imer can tell you. Hey,
I can
Vicky.
see that.
Oh,
I can
well,
understand that.
loving
I like a good
somebody and
mustard,
being in love. Yeah, that's totally different, man.
It
you know.
is
Being in
different.
love.
It's a fine difference, though, right? Like
It's a
you
pretty big
love
difference in my eyes.
Good
you
evening,
love.
Vicky.
Don't we
It's a
love
pretty
people
big
who
difference.
serve us, though? Think about it. You love people who can do something for you. If you think about it, really, be honest with your own mind.
No, I even
Okay?
love the
No,
motherfuckers that
no,
stab me in the
I'm
back.
even speaking for myself. All of us, it's part of human nature, okay? That we're drawn to people, especially on the internet, if you don't know them in person. There is a benefit. There is a transactional relationship on the internet.
And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, you know.
Right. But you love the way they make you feel or think or, do or whatever. Okay.
Well,
Conversation,
no, I
thought,
admit that,
whatever it may
man.
be.
Yes.
I've said that. I'd absolutely admit that, Virginia. Whereas, the first time I came into this community, back, Dangerous Freedom Days, Prepping 101, Hawk was doing Prayathon. It was, 5 years ago or so. At that time, I felt like I had fucking nobody. I didn't have anybody. I was just out of a 7-year relationship. I thought I had a family there, was like gone, you know. Now I'm on my own here, fucking scraping from the bottom. And I entered this community, and every time I'd enter a chat, it'd be like, "Hey, Carl." I go up on the panel, and everybody treated me like way better than people in real life were treating me. And it's like, it made me feel welcome, especially people like Dangerous Freedom. you know, I said one fucking thing in his chat and boom, I was blue. Next thing you know, he's inviting me up on the panel, and I'm on the panel, and it's like I'm having a fucking blast, and he made me feel as welcome as I've ever done or ever felt. So it's like this did give me something. It made me feel like I wasn't fucking alone. Nobody here calls me crazy. You guys heard me say this shit, and you know you're gonna call me crazy because I say that. But in reality, in real life, a lot of motherfuckers thought I was crazy. But then I find you people, and I don't think you're crazy. You're thinking like I am, and you're not calling me crazy. It's like, okay, I was just with the wrong people. Now I found the right people to hang out with.
Mhm.
I would never allegedly say that.
You're all fucking crazy. I would say it all day. But you smell your own, you know. Birds of a
I
feather.
mean, we are what we are, and we own it for whatever it is. You know,
Yep.
we haven't even
Yeah,
lived
I
our
don't want to
entire
be
life
nothing
yet.
but myself. That's the key point with me, man. I would not want to be anyone else. Okay, I don't want to be Ted Nugent. I don't want to be no. I want to be what I am. All right, I don't envy anybody. I don't, you know, I'm satisfied with what I am and where I'm at. I can sleep at night just fine. All right, you know, I got a clean conscience. You know, I might be struggling to survive, but I'd rather do that than to do something jinky.
They say the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Know how you feel.
It's
But there is an advantage too, though. You make me think of this too, Virginia. Is like when I'm done here, I can turn off this thing off, and you guys are not there. All right, I don't have to leave somebody's house. I don't have to get them to leave my house. I don't get like annoyed with somebody's presence or you know, any of that. It's like it's a pretty convenient relationship to have this way for somebody like me, you know. I guess like what do they call that? An introvert, you
I
know.
think for any of us, accountability, if you choose to enter this realm, whether it's in a chat or coming up on a panel or whatever, that's your choice. Nobody clicked the button for you. And,
Oh,
you know,
peer pressure is real.
well,
Yep.
for sure. I understand that. It's
We
still
go
a
where we want to go. You know, we find something there, like you said, some form of transaction. You know, whatever it may be, we want to be there for whatever reason. You know.
yep.
Cheryl Rich, go watch him dance. Go watch Davy Jones dance, and then watch, you know, Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose dance. I think Axl Rose stole the monkey dance.
Dude.
Stole the monkey.
I'm gonna sway my hips. I was swaying my hips like Elvis. I
Man,
mean,
it's
I
identical. I
encourage
think he
that.
stole that from the monkeys.
I'm saying though, there
Yeah,
it's mimicry.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage good mobility. It's always a plus.
Plagiarism, man. Plagiarism.
But when you say stealing, it implies that there are no original thoughts or ideas or movements or dances or whatever, right? So, what could we do about that as spiritual beings that we are, right? Can you tell me an original thought, dance move, behavior, anything that someone else has not already thrown out there?
Well, no, because I don't know the history of mankind.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Of famous people.
Of anyone, any thought, action.
Known. Okay, maybe of known. All right, let me think.
And of course, even as we can all have a vivid imagination, but to a certain degree, it's hard to imagine or see something you haven't seen before. An idea, you know, you, as a
I don't
child,
know
you
about
weren't
that, man.
didn't know to be afraid of the boogeyman until you knew the boogeyman existed or stuff like that. You know,
Right.
Now you're talking about stuff I love. I thrive on those ideas. All right. I came up with a lot. I got a notebook full of ideas. All right. But like weed coin, that was my fucking deal. If somebody ever comes out with weed coin, you know, you take a gram of weed, you smash it in a metal press, and you put a little foil wrapper on it, like the chocolate coins, and you got a gram of weed. It's always going to be worth a gram of weed, and they call it weed coin. I mean, ideas. You can have original ideas. There's all
yeah, I
kinds of them.
think I got shares in that.
It might be worth
But
doing,
like,
man.
it's the originality factor. I think about that in a lot of things. Just even like the media or the entertainment section. A lot of things it's just like a remake or a spinoff or some of
Right.
it's cool, for what it is, but a lot of it just lacks originality. Even like just certain things. But yeah,
It's put
I
in a
love
different
coming up with
box,
ideas
wrapped with
and stuff
different
like that.
paper. I mean,
yeah,
there
yeah.
are most original ideas get squashed and
You don't hear
or
about it for a reason.
yeah, you don't hear about it. That it's got to be something that someone can make money off of, or it's going to get squashed or called kooky, right?
And you can't step on somebody else's toes, like with DC voltage or something.
Exactly. Like the thing with Tesla back in the day. He had a lot of investors, oil investors, and those people, all those names, Rockefeller, whatever. I don't know. Don't quote me. But
Yeah.
when he put his ideas out there, and they're like, "Word, this works. Now, how do we monetize it? How do we meter it and make money on it?" And he was like, "Well, you can't."
Well, let's get an elephant and
Well, then
electrocute an
we're going to
elephant
call
for everyone to see. So you know how dangerous it is.
What?
They literally electrocuted a elephant in public to prove how dangerous that electricity was.
And that had to do with Tesla.
And Edison, yeah, look it up.
Okay.
Dang.
Well, I'm saying original ideas, if they can't be monetized or exploited, or if they're too over the target, whatever that target is, they are squashed, suppressed, and called fringe or Snopes checked and thrown out of there some way, in especially the way that history and science books are written. For example, I heard a great theory that prohibition, it wasn't about saving families. I mean, why would they be saving families 100 years ago? They don't give a fuck. They're trying to destroy families. What the theory was,
Regulation. They
no,
turned
was
into a revenue.
people were making their own fuel, and that canceled out gasoline and oil companies, because think about NASCAR. They were running on moonshine, right? Or, well, I'm saying, like, you can make corn liquor run a car.
Yes.
Just a good old boys.
Water.
It wasn't about making America moral again. It was a mama making America moral again, mama. That's for you, Eimer. Yes, Pilgrim, you know what I'm saying? It was about squashing the people who figured out a way to fuel their own vehicles or whatever that required fuel.
Did somebody get the soundbite on that one?
Yeah. You're speaking like from the time period like the early 1900s industrial revolution time.
Yeah, prohibition.
That's like I think allegedly that's when the term fossil fuels first came about. They needed a catchy term to convince people that this was a rare commodity. You had to pay more for it. It's essential. If you want these new
There's one right there,
automobiles of
Rob.
the future, you got to have something to fuel it. You need these fossil fuels.
The oil.
I
And
don't
we
buy
have
that
to
at all. I do not
justify
think that.
textbooks.
I don't buy it, man. I don't think that oil is dinosaur juice. I just can't comprehend that.
It's not. It's all of it is lies, and it was because of money. So I don't know where we started. We admittedly, I started that squirrel run. It was monetizing, like with Tesla and energy, and I don't know where we started, but
It's how they have stopped anyone.
The originality and ideas over time.
yes, originality.
Yes.
Thank you, Bonnie and Watt. Yes.
Even the one that was running a vehicle on water.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple of them guys that just up and vanished.
Yep.
Now you've got the guy using plastics to make fuel.
Yeah, and they also got like 900 motherfuckers on YouTube making fake free energy videos for people to destroy fucking shit, and it's crazy.
Some
I
are
mean, why?
fake.
And it's like, you know, at a time, you know, at a certain generation, you heard of these things or certain things happening. So you had dreamers, people that wanted to be a part of something or maybe be the next, the great thing or the great thinkers and the great doers. But then you transition to everything that they created and did, and everything
Dude, if
seems
I
so fresh and
disappear,
so new now. But I mean, it's nothing new under the sun. But now
Right.
you switched it. Now you don't need people to think and dream. Now you just put them in a dream state, and you can just make them think and do what you want. You know, it's almost to a point of
dude,
certain
you think
people
I
don't
might
even need to be
disappear
a
over
dreamer
that
or a
weed
thinker.
coin?
They just need to be
You think
told what to dream and think.
Hmm.
are they gonna disappear me over that weed coin thing?
Yes.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Well, to Watt's point, anyone who tries to patent something and it's something really good, allegedly, some of them mysteriously drop off the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the patent office is part of the government. You break down the word, govern means control, ment means mind. So you have control the mind. They will
govern
get
the
rid of
mind.
people who have these outer thoughts, right? And then they'll find a way to morph the patent and gain some benefit and some, way to make money on it. But that's the root of government. And then you go to the patent office. In fact, you know where Einstein worked? The patent office. Think about that. So marinate on that.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking about what Jerry just said. He's calling us weirdos, and I really appreciate that. Good night, Jerry. That means weird. Weird is like the words weird, strange, odd. Those are a good thing to call me because I don't want to be like normal or like the rest of them. I like being an oddball. I do. So I appreciate that. Good night.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that, Jerry. You have a blessed night and a prosperous Wednesday.
he'll be back. He
He'll be
says
back. He
goodnight for
can't.
like an
He
hour.
loves us too much.
So
Or think about like however many decades those like I remember seeing them like in the '90s and the 2000s as a kid. The little commercial where it shows the caveman forming the first wheel. You know the the people you call in to send your ideas to. Imagine how many ideas or something might have popped up during all that. You know, and it might have got bought out or the people never heard nothing back or they just put it on the shelf till later. You know, it just wasn't the time for that release of that thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but that purple dinosaur would have been eating them kids all along. And Teletubbies were just gay aliens living in a crashed UFO. You guys realize that?
I have heard some reports on that. Yeah, there's some people that do say that allegedly.
I've been reporting it. I've been reporting it. I'm sure of it.
Barney was definitely a gay dinosaur.
I think some
I
people
mean,
said that too. You know, I
you
wouldn't
think
say
about
that.
it, came out like 30 years ago. I love you, you love me, homosexuality. And look where we are now.
Oh man, dang, that's what they were really saying. I was wondering what it was. I thought it was like
It
the
was.
elemental P in the alphabet. You know, you just say a sound close to it, and you just
I
pass.
Nope.
thought it was. We're a happy family.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's what you want you to think,
You,
buddy.
you weren't wearing the glasses, Bonnie.
Oh man, that makes
Darn
sense now.
it.
Yep.
And
Purple
none
is
of
a
the
good
adults could see him. Only the kids could see him. It was like that imaginary friend status. I don't know if it's interesting. That's another thing that's interesting. Like people that makes them different. You know, some people had like a quote unquote imaginary friend. You know, when they were younger. Some people
What
didn't.
do
You
you
know, I
mean?
don't.
Some people, a lot of people here on YouTube got multiple personalities still.
I was
Yeah,
going to
still.
say,
I mean, sometimes it transcends and multiplies. You know, yeah. But
hey, Ridge Runner, good to see you.
yes. Love
you
I
some
mean,
and
I
Ridge
thought
Runner.
that's what emojis were invented for, so you could type them all and have a bipolar event in one fucking comment.
I
You
know,
know,
right?
all the emojis are sigils. If you look up, I'm not sure if it's the Key of Solomon or it's a certain grimoire that It's literally the emojis, and they each put off a certain message, emotion, prayer, curse, whatever you want to call it, good or bad. It will be and can be both.
Well,
But
if
you
you
look at
notice,
these.
you've never seen me use those because I'm not a
Well,
girl.
Eimer knows. Eimer is my spirit animal, by the way. But yeah, the emojis are animated sigils.
Wait a minute. Did you just say that a male is your spirit animal? Wait, what's going on?
No, no, you are tripping. I'll have 2 of what he's having.
What did you just say was your spirit animal? I thought you just said I'm your Huckleberry was your spirit animal.
I
Oh,
won't none,
no,
and we'll
Eimer
just
is
say
my
that I
spirit
did.
animal. Yeah, Eimer knows. Like, Eimer is my spirit animal. We are quantum entangled. I think things and say things, and I know he knows what I'm saying. That's what I mean by
So
spirit animal.
you like crashed into each other on the astral plane or something? Well,
Yep.
I need more information.
Yeah.
Yes, quantum entanglement. It's a real thing.
Well, I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp and all that.
I
I
encourage
understand it.
quantum entanglement. I do. I
Mhm.
love it sometimes.
Yep.
Definitely. I use
mean-
emojis. I'm going to keep using emojis because they show.
All right,
I'm
so
just,
it's no emojis now.
I'm using them.
I've never used them, man.
All right,
It
I don't
feels
feel comfortable
kinda,
using them anymore now.
I don't know. I'll be honest, man. I felt
Sure.
like if I was to use those, it felt a little gay. That's all. I mean, it doesn't seem like
All right, that's confirmation enough. I'm out of the emoji game.
that's why I
Emojis,
don't mind girls using it. I get it. I mean, but you're not. I don't.
they're not
It's a good run.
inherently evil, okay? They're not inherently evil. Nothing is inherently evil. It comes out of intent. So you can send someone a smiley face and in your mind have a completely condescending, fucked up, like passive aggressive smile, right? That's a sigil. It's a speaking, casting spell. Yes, Eimer knows. My nipples are tingling, Eimer.
No.
It's no,
Mine too. I thought it was just me. I
Dang,
wasn't
this
gonna say nothing.
quantum entanglement sounds funner and funner all the time.
no, don't be afraid of using emojis or certain symbols or
All right. We made emojis great again. All right.
yes.
I don't see it as casting spells. Just like you said, it's what's your intent.
Mm-hmm.
If I put a heart out there, it's because I mean it. And or a hug or a prayer, whatever. But I can remember a person.
Okay, well, you guys probably just. It's different, man. I've had dudes in these chats send me hearts and shit.
I
That's
was
why
going to say, I remember a person in this community that was really giving the men a lot of hearts. And they were like, okay, you need to stop this right now. I don't want you sending me hearts. And
I remember
he
that
would
well
go
too.
and make a big deal out of it. Yeah, he was
My goodness.
I
What a
don't know.
I
long
encourage the
string of
hearts.
shit.
After this is over, I encourage you to spam thousands of hearts in the comments. I don't think
Oh,
you'll do it.
remember when we used to do the love raids?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
pretty much everybody was using hearts then, weren't they?
Yep.
Not me. I have used one emoji I found. It's the middle finger. I thought that one was pretty good.
I love that one. Yeah. But they all communicate as within, so without. Like circling back Saki again, right? It really is the intent. It's what's coming out of your spirit. The heart seems like a loving, benign thing. But sometimes deep down when you see a certain emoji in your direction in a chat here, just to go with this avenue, deep down it's a passive aggressive dig that is not sincere. It is not coming from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to communicate, and both people know.
Well, if it wasn't for sarcasm, I don't think I'd even have survived this long.
Well, symbols can be sarcasm or something different than the surface as well. And, there's what is it, Q? Symbolism will be their downfall. Never forget that. This world runs on advertising. You know what they study? Symbols. You
Oh yeah.
look at any logo and find something in that, and you might be
It's the
enticed.
easiest way to depict an image or an idea.
Yes. Look at the Google thing. It's a 666. Look at it. The green,
Seen it. I know
yellow,
it's there.
red. It's a 666, right? Now that can be good. It's the nature of man, the neutrons, protons, electrons, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Each,
It's the
right?
basis of us, It's
It
the
is.
intent.
So, or you can see it as something else.
Or
Or
it
you
is a human number.
Yeah, CERN is a deep one, Eimer. That's concerning. Yes.
It is concerning.
Yep.
Oh,
But
I
it's
saw RFK Jr. say something was DARPA. Could be DARPA. I was kind of surprised.
oh,
Nice.
I'm intrigued now. What was it?
It's like my dream.
Right?
I think it was, I don't know how he was being questioned, but a woman asked him, well, she was talking about the lines in the skies. And why is this being allowed when you know that it's metals that we're breathing into our bodies, like aluminum? She was naming them off. And
so what do we lose now? We already lost like the Monopoly man's monocle and stuff. What do we lose this time?
What? I don't know. But then he said it could be DARPA.
The Mandela effect, where they say that things are different now. Every time they turn that thing on, they think it might be changing our path.
Oh, with CERN. Yeah, that'd be splitting space-time or dimensions or inviting things in.
Yes.
But DARPA is like Facebook is DARPA, Amazon is DARPA, all the med beds are DARPA, Q is DARPA, all of it's DARPA. The underground government, it's research, it's an acronym, DARPA, and I know it's something research, something. Somebody in the chat might know. I can't
forget what it is. I could remember it, but yeah.
Robotics, like all the AI shit, all the whatever, that's all DARPA. And it kind of goes to the CIA, and like they spent a lot of time researching remote viewers and how to use psychic powers and
oh yeah,
how to affect your psychology, parapsychology. All of that was huge in those organizations, and that's what they are deploying against us right now.
Man, I gotta listen to some Black Sabbath Hole in the Sky really soon.
It stands for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Thank you.
Damn, it's a project and an agency.
Yep.
Shit.
Defense. Remember, it's for our safety, everyone. Don't forget. It's for our safety.
Right.
Yeah. Of course. How could we forget that? So obvious.
I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery.
I just like a good sandwich, some mustard, real mayo, never Miracle Whip, roast beef, not Arby's.
But do you trust people to make your sandwich?
Absolutely.
I mean, are the sandwiches you make the best sandwiches?
Yes.
Absolutely. Always.
Yep.
I think I could trust Virginia to make a good sandwich. She seems pretty knowledgeable. I could eat about 2 good thick sandwiches right about now.
I'd rather make the sandwiches. I'd rather be the one to make the sandwiches. In fact, I'm telling you guys something right now. If you want to get on a gal's good side, make her a sandwich. Bring it to her in bed. Things will be better. Your life will be better.
Hey, that's how you get on my good side sometimes. What do you mean? It's unisexual event, you know?
It's so true.
Yeah. Everybody
No,
enjoys
but
a
I'm
good
always
meal, a
hearing
good
these
something,
guys,
you know?
make
The
me a
thought.
sandwich. But what? I'm always hearing these guys going, telling the gals, make me a sandwich. They got it wrong, man. Make them a sandwich.
There you go.
Well,
Sandwich
I think
night.
it was Bonnie saying earlier how women kind of tend to have more intuition, men are a little more primal, if we just put it like very simple terms. And so
Like
if,
back to the basics. I
right,
mean,
but
there's a whole
if
discussion on that. I
if
mean, men are supposed to be the
one of you
providers.
men brought me a sandwich, my first thought would not be, oh, he brought me a sandwich. It would be, what does he want? What does he fucking want now? What is the transaction fee for this sandwich? Okay. When a woman feeds you, it's their um
It's
what was it
nurturing.
called? Their
It's nurturing. A woman's
it is
role.
nurturing. Yes, women are nurturers. So it makes
Yeah,
sense for a woman to bring you a sandwich. But one of you boys brought me a sandwich, I'd be like, they expect something. Yeah, trade me. What's the
Right.
barter here?
well, don't forget that the men are the providers. So when a man provides for a woman, it makes him feel manly and good, So if you reject that sandwich, you might cause more trouble than just eating the damn sandwich, Virginia. Eat the fucking sandwich. Try it.
Eat the sandwich. All right.
I think it can go both ways on some things, you know, the appreciation, the acknowledgement. I
Yeah.
think those can go a long way, you know. A lot of other things
In
can
the
kind of fall into
eyes.
place after that.
Yes. Look in the eyes and you can tell the intent.
Right.
I
Or
may
if it's
not like
a
it, but I'm
sandwich,
going to give you the acknowledgement that, hey, you know, this was a great sandwich, but, you know, hey, next time, this could be an awesome sandwich, you know.
well, it's kind of like any gift out of nowhere. If that's the first sandwich you have received ever, there's a little bit of a pause as women to be like, okay, what are you about to confess? Or what do you want me to do for you? Right?
Well, there's
But
other
if it's
questions. Are
normal,
you on your period? Are you hungry? Did you just
yeah,
smoke some pot?
I mean,
There's some
yeah,
other
it's
factors
sandwich,
involved.
but if you brought me a sandwich every Sunday or every PMS Tuesday, then it'd be like, okay, this is a pattern. He's being, sympathetic and like, okay, let me do something nice. But if it's out of the blue, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll be like, why the fuck is it? What does this sandwich mean? How much is this check?
So
Well,
you're
just let me
saying
know
that
if you're not
if
going to eat
the
the
guy?
sandwich, 'cause if not, I'll eat it. I don't want it to just sit there and go bad, you know.
No, I get it. I get it.
It was
If
a good
if a guy was
sandwich.
to, out of the blue, bring her like a bouquet of flowers, hand pick some flowers out of the field, and just give it to her out of the blue, she's gonna think he's guilty, like he did something
Right.
and he's looking. I see where she's going with that, but that's the negative thoughts. You gotta believe in something, have a little faith, open up a little bit, Virginia. I mean, I know it sucks because it usually backfires in your face, but one day somebody's gonna want to give you a good sandwich, and you're gonna miss the fuck out.
One
There
day,
you go.
maybe, Carl. Maybe.
One of these days.
Yeah.
No, it's just the consistency of doing those things, you know. Just don't do it when you're looking for something in return, you know. I mean, ultimately, we're all looking for something in return, even if it's a relationship. You want to just hope that you would get the same love or consideration back at another time, not that you're just looking for instant that a boy or oh my goodness, you know, at that
Hmm.
moment, you know, it's just
Reciprocal.
yeah. I mean, it
Yes.
goes both ways. You would hope to get the same in return, you know. It's the consistency, you know.
Yep.
You may not know when you're going to get it, but it's the consistent factor of you know you can depend on somebody else or some other thing, whatever it may be.
Right.
You're
Because if
being
you
awful
bring me a
vague.
sandwich, every time you bring me a sandwich, I find out that something I loved is broken, you know, like my favorite vase, or like the car is wrecked, or like somebody shit their pants, then I'm going to be sitting here going, okay, why did I receive this sandwich? So the consistency is exactly it. What, you know, like a
Yeah, just enjoy your sandwich, and I'll tell you the shit show you're about to walk
yeah,
into.
exactly.
Just take your time and enjoy your sandwich first, though.
2 or 3 times I'm going to lose my appetite and go, what the hell happened?
Yeah, eat
Well,
first. You might lose your appetite.
And it's
You
the
know
same
what? I'm gonna
with
still eat that fucking sandwich because now I deserve the sandwich. All right, because a lot of
There you
times I don't
go.
even get a sandwich. They
mhm.
still break my shit or whatever. I still don't get no sandwich, so I'm gonna eat that fucking sandwich.
There you
it's the
go.
same with flowers. My ex, he would never send me flowers until he had done something. So I get what Virginia's saying.
Mhm.
And he would make sure to have them delivered at my work so everybody would see the gesture also and be all,
Yeah,
oh, he's so sweet,
okay.
when I know the reason I got these flowers and I'm not happy about it.
Right.
Oh boy. Yeah, I could see where that would piss me off too, Bonnie. Hear that.
It's
It's
conditioning.
funny how hindsight's 2020 too. You know what I mean? Shit like that. It's like
Mm.
Mary loved the sandwich.
I never knew that sandwiches could be such a deep philosophical discussion.
Just wait till you
Are
get
you
into the
new?
hoagies.
Right?
Don't get me started on paninis. That's true love.
The panini press.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Yep.
beautiful thing.
I mean, I guess you could look at it that way, Amir. A sandwich could be a lifesaver. I mean, I surely could look at it that way.
I see some people that look like a sandwich could save them, and I see some people that look like a good sandwich might just take them out, man. You know,
Oh,
that would just be it.
you
Oh
ain't lying.
no, good sandwich and a glass of water, but that would just be it.
You know, speaking of sandwiches, I've been kind of watching Marketplace and stuff. I want to get one of those cast iron sandwich makers that you can like cook a sandwich on a wood stove or something. You know, it's just like it turns
I saw
bread
that.
into it turns every sandwich into this little hot pocket. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Hmm.
Is it the one our club man was just using one? It has these long handles on it and it opens up
That
Oh,
sounds
if they
like it.
make it,
I
he's got
missed
one.
that. I'm
and
surprised that I missed that because I've been watching his content. He's been funny lately.
he was using it on an open fire that he made inside a log. Used the log for like a stove. It's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
It's yeah, it can turn just your normal ingredients into
And I
something
said in the
better.
chat, I bet you can't find those anymore. And somebody said, yeah, they sell them at Walmart in the camping section. I was like, well, I'll be
Really?
darned.
I'll be looking. All right, because I got me a cast iron lodge uh, skillet from Walmart, and it's made in America. And if it's not made in China, I'll probably buy one eventually.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
rather have
pretty
an
sure it
old
is.
one.
If it's out there, they got to make a model for it.
I'd rather have an old one, to be honest, even if I got to clean it up. But
Yeah, I know. It's hard to even find decent bread.
no, it's almost like the world's trying to kill us, isn't it?
That's the word right there. Huckleberry said it.
Oh, yeah. The G word, yeah.
Yes. That's in everything that's weed killer. I don't know.
call it the G word. The G word used to mean better things than that. Don't call it that.
I
You
used
know
to
it's
eat,
bad when the G word isn't even a good thing no more. You know that's sad, bro. Dang.
excuse me. I used to eat a sandwich every day, and then something happened with bread. I can't eat it at all anymore. And I don't know what they did with it. And darn it, Virginia froze.
Virginia,
Too
you
much
gotta come
sandwich
back.
talk. It does it to her every time.
You gotta come back,
Mm,
Virginia. You gotta come back. Don't give up this time. You know, I
she's
heard this
pissed.
thing recently that you shouldn't be eating pizza from these big pizza joints, like, the big ones, because they don't let their bread rise. You're supposed to make the bread and let it rise overnight, then use it. And since they don't do that, it causes trouble for your stomach, and it's not healthy to eat that. And it kind of, I've quit eating pizza because I read this, and I haven't had gut aches. I noticed that sometimes when I get a top name brand pizza, that I don't feel so good afterwards. And I just wonder if that's any truth to it. Because
I
I
Oh, I
don't
do
would
know.
remember
imagine
looking at
so.
it.
It would definitely play a role for sure.
Well, I swear I remember when I worked at a pizza joint in my younger years that we had to make the dough and let it sit overnight before we could use it. We let it sit on racks covered with wax paper. I could swear we did that. And
I
if
mean, it
Yeah.
these
makes
lazy
sense,
fucks ain't
in the demand world we are of, just have it now instantly, one call away, one delivery away.
right, man, fucking lazy fucks are hurting us, and we don't even realize it.
Yep. Hey, all the things I like. I enjoy a good pizza.
I know, man. They keep taking everything away from
Damn,
us.
can't even get a good pie no more, man.
You can if you do it
Maybe that's
yourself.
why that 103-year-old lady said pick your 4 foods.
Yeah, man, I might have to start doing that, man. Dang.
I don't even like, trust in other restaurants in general, because I worked at them. I was a cook. I've been a line cook and prep cook. I even been a dishwasher and even been a waiter. All right, done all that in several places. Ramshorn. I was a cook at a Big Boy. Worked at a pizza joint. Worked at a couple. I worked as a cook at a couple bars. And what I have learned is I don't trust people in the kitchens. All right, there's some gross motherfuckers that work in that world to where I'm not sure that the shit's sanitary. I don't trust the food. I don't trust what they're serving it on or what they cooked it on. That's where
Yeah.
my trouble lies, is trusting
Right.
somebody that did it right.
One of the restaurants, he offered me um, gallons of pickle juice because I drink pickle juice a lot. And um, so I was telling my friend, I was like, I'm so excited. I'm going to get gallons of pickle juice. And she said, don't do it. And I said, what? And she said, I work back there with those guys. They'll just stick their hands in there, no gloves, nothing, grab the pickles. You don't want the pickle juice. And I'm like, oh, God,
Oh, dang.
never mind.
Mm.
You're just going in there barefisted.
Yeah.
Although that when you said that, Bonnie, my mom, I took care of her for like 6 years. I was her caregiver after she had a series of strokes. But she'd get these really bad cramps in the middle of the night. And
Yes.
I'd know what it was. And all she'd want is a little shot of pickle juice. And it immediately took the cramps away. She in the
Yes.
middle of the night, I give her a little tiny shot of pickle juice. She'd down it, go back to sleep, and the problem was solved. That shit worked miracles for her.
That it does. Yeah, my feet
Can't
will
stand
cramp
it.
up sometimes in the middle of the night. And I head for the pickle
Can't
juice.
stand anything
It
like that.
hurts walking to the kitchen to get it, but
I don't like vinegar at all. I don't like, you gals, it's like vinegar's like your duct tape. It'll fix
I
anything.
love vinegar.
For
Yes.
some reason, that smell has always been like that to me. 3 things I can't handle breathing. It doesn't seem to bother anybody else. Bleach, ammonia, and vinegar. Those things, they take my breath away, man. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Well, I don't like bleach or ammonia. That's why I use vinegar. I use vinegar for cleaning. It is a disinfectant.
And don't ever mix the two neither. That makes pure poison gas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It
Dehydration.
always is. It always is. Why?
Hmm.
It'd be more interesting when Virginia makes it back. You gotta start talking about weird shit again. Make her want to come back. Mud floods, or we covered mud floods, or Tartaria, or Nephilim, Patagonia, anything like that.
Covered a
hope.
wide spectrum of thoughts and ideas.
Lake Titicaca.
I like Lake
Tiwanaku.
Titicaca.
So do
Never
I.
been
That
there.
place is fascinating. No, me either. But I
Just
definitely
kind of rolls off your tongue, you know?
Yeah. Tiwanaku. That one rolls off there too.
Tiwanaku. Yeah.
Tiwanaku. That place is amazing. It's right on the banks of Lake Titicaca.
I'll make it there someday.
Y'all are making stuff up now.
Nope, not at all, Bonnie. Absolutely
I don't
not.
make up stuff about my future travels. I shall make it to Lake Titicaca.
I mean, the Paracas skulls alone, all right, those are the most convincing physical evidence of alien hybrids within our species thousands of years ago. In Peru, near the Nazca landing strips and Lake Titicaca and all that, there's a lot of sites there that are just mind-blowing, but they found these skulls and they're elongated like they used to wrap. Some tribes would wrap their skulls to get the elong. Even the Egyptians supposedly did that, wrap their skulls so they get these really big craniums. But these skulls don't have the same skull release cracks. Like when a baby grows up to an adult, there's these cracks in the skull that move with the growth. They're also, protect you from impacts and stuff, but they're completely different on these skulls. And they did, this guy named Brian Forrester, he's worth following here on YouTube if you're into this stuff, but he had these skulls analyzed and DNA come back with a very different DNA that doesn't match anything on our planet. All right. This is, and of course, nobody really talks about it unless you go to those places that talk about it. But it's pretty wild stuff, man. There was something going on there in Peru thousands of years ago. They don't talk about much.
People like it. More people are joining in. We just got a surge of viewers. I'm guessing they're a fan of Lake Titicaca. They love it. I appreciate whoever you are out there watching. I love you.
I just watched an hour-long documentary underwater archaeological research performed on Lake Titicaca. They found some pretty fascinating stuff, tributes and gold and all kinds of stuff. Because it's sacred. You're not allowed to go there.
If that ain't news you can use, I don't know who you are, and I can't tell you where you can go to find it.
Watch channel, man. The Watch channel. They got it all.
It's happening. Allegedly, it's everything and nothing all at the same time.
That concept alone should open fucking minds.
I know. I've done so much with so little. I feel like I can do absolutely everything with absolutely nothing.
For no reason at all.
And no reason at all. Just because the universe needed to be realtered a little, I guess.
Just being.
There's this song. This Italian guy did this pop song back in the early 70s. And the song is literally just gibberish. It means absolutely nothing. But the funny part about it is it became a massive hit. I forget the name of the song. I forget the artist and all this because it's hard to remember. But this dude got famous for a song of pure gibberish. Just mixed a bunch of words together, put music to it.
It sounded good because it was sung in Italian.
Yeah, it's it's wild. I'll see if I can find that. And I showed it to Craig Hunter once because I figured he already knew it.
Nice. I'd like to check it out.
You could probably Google it. The song about absolutely nothing, or the hit song about absolutely nothing. It's probably.
Sounds about right with our timeline.
And I think all those little pieces explain something, It's just like, guys, you're talking about secret societies and shit. When I was a kid, and the Flintstones just came out. You remember the great water buffalo handshake and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Water Buffalo
Lodge.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Look back, go, oh, that's what that was all about. That particular cartoon came on at prime time, and it had Fred up there smoking cigarettes. They were selling Winston cigarettes and shit. It was like there'd be a cartoon commercial for cigarettes before the show or during the show or after the show. It was a different world.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. We'll get ready to wrap this one up for the night. Get ready to take on Wednesday for whatever it may bring. I appreciate everybody for showing up.
Thank you
Hopefully
for
everybody or somebody got something or will get something out of it.
Well, I was honored to be the second person on the Mott Show. All right, appreciate that.
I appreciate that as well. I appreciate everybody for being here. Tune in to the show about nothing and everything all in one.
It was a pretty good run. How long were you live?
So far 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 10 seconds.
You'll
broke
get
a new
there.
course
40
record.
hours straight. 40 hours straight, nonstop. You can't leave. That's the record to break.
Might do that one on episode 3. You know what I mean? Third time's a charm. You never know what episode 3 of Watts World will bring. You just got to stay tuned. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen. And it's got the possibility to be the best thing that's ever happened. Who knows? I'll put that out there. I'll say that about it.
Possibilities are endless.
But I do appreciate everybody being here. And I hope everyone has a blessed night. A prosperous Wednesday. I'm going to drop the link in chat. If anybody wants to come back for a little bit, you're more than welcome.
Love y'all. See you all somewhere soon.
Yeah,
Good night, everybody.